Time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash. You can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, and often no appraisal. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day. So act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. Get the money you need for anything. 919-381-1760, LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to protect people's health, to preserve magnificent places and wildlife, and to combat climate change. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Middle of the day, it's a beauty out there. Temperatures starting out in the 60s midday, but by the afternoon, we're in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, we're in the middle 40s and making a run at 80 degrees heading into Wednesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 241 points to 41,600. Market update brought to you by UNC Chapel Hill. Save the date for Give UNC. Mark your calendars for March 25th and get ready to make an impact at UNC Chapel Hill. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by RDU Airport Authority. Lufthansa is excited to take off from Raleigh Durham International Airport, connecting you to destinations like Germany, Italy, India, and beyond. Say yes to incredible journeys. Book today at Lufthansa.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Tuesday. I'm Tim Donnelly. We have Max producing the show today. First time sitting in the producer's chair. Dennis still filling in for Adam. Graham's going to be our coordinator today up in the booth. Max producing, pushing the buttons, keeping us up and running. And not just on any day. It is the opener of the NCAA Tournament day. It is the opener for UNC's trip through the NCAA Tournament today. They're starting a little early. They're getting things rolling a little early. Why? Because they're in that first 4 of the tournament out there in Dayton. They're playing tonight at San Diego State. And here's the challenge for UNC. 100% mental. The challenge, it's an old golf term, but I think it's probably true for all sports, right? That the most important real estate in the game, 6 inches between your ears. The challenge for UNC and Hubert Davis and RJ Davis and Seth Trimble, and we can go on and on down the roster. The challenge for this squad is mental. We could dive into San Diego State. We could say they've won a bunch of games. We could say they got 2 guys, 6'10", 7 foot in their rotation, and they don't bring a ton of production, but they are big. We could do all of that. But I don't think that's the beast to challenge, right? The task is not what you think it is. The lane violation has to be completely forgotten, which is darn near impossible. For the ACC tournament, their ACC tournament, and they weren't sure if their season came to a close when Jalen Withers stepped one little jab step over the line on a free throw by his teammate Van Allen Lubin. And the despair. Go back and watch the replays. Watch the bench of UNC. Their reactions, brutal, because that's an awful way to lose a game. It has to be completely and totally forgotten. Do you know why? Because Jalen Withers has been so important to their improvement over the last 10 games. You can go back, right? We have receipts because we say things into microphones and we record it. Before the game, before the ACC tournament, we were saying the rise of UNC starting after that Clemson loss about a month ago now, the rise of UNC, the last 10 games that put them in the NCAA tournament coincided with Jalen Withers playing better. It's not they didn't all of a sudden start getting Drake Powell to be a freakishly athletic 6'6" wing. He's always been that. They didn't suddenly start getting Seth Trimble to be one of the best sixth men in the league. He's always been that. They didn't suddenly start having Elliot Cadeau dishing out a ton of assists. He's always been that. The suddenly was Jalen Withers was being used more and more effectively shooting the basketball. So whether you think it was his fault, whether you think he should be sad, whether you feel bad, whatever it is, you got to put that in the back. Because now you're in the NCAA tournament, and it is kind of a fresh start. Hubert Davis, their coach, was on Hubert Davis Live on Tar Heel Sports Network, and he mentioned it's a privilege to be in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I just am so excited for our guys. It's, even being in North Carolina, you don't lose sight of the privilege and the thankfulness to be able to participate in the NCAA tournament. So to be selected and to see the reaction of the guys and the smiles and how excited they were to be a part of it after, we found out that we were in the tournament, just talking to them as a group in regards to plans and scheduling, but also asking them, half our team, this will be the first time that they've ever gone to the NCAA tournament. So for guys like, Tyshawn and Vin, and this is something that they have thought and dreamed about their entire basketball life.
Now, I understand why Hubert Davis, speaking with the media, and that was during Hubert Davis Live, would be that serious and would be that coach speak. So I'm not criticizing him for doing that publicly. Behind closed doors, UNC has to have the swagger. They have to. They have to be confident. Right? Like I said, it's between the ears. If you take out 2 halves of basketball against Duke, they've been great for a month. You take out the second half in their senior night in the Dean Dome against Duke and the first half in the ACC semifinal against Duke, they've been lights out for a month. In 6 of the last 7 games, RJ Davis has made at least 3 threes and has shot at least 44% from deep. When UNC at the beginning of the year was the number 9 team in the country in preseason, a large part of that hype, a large part of that swagger was built on the idea that was the RJ Davis we were going to get. Elite shooting, high volume shooter. That's what we saw last year. If that is around, and it has been for 7 games, act like it. Van Allen Lubin had his first 20-10 night of the season in the loss to Duke in the ACC tournament. He put up 20 and 10 against, Kamon Malawash is Going to be one of, if not the first big man, true big man, drafted in the NBA draft. Van Allen Lubin had 20 and 10. You want to know a fun fact about Van Allen Lubin? He might just be a guy that wakes up at like the 35th game. Last year, he was playing at Vanderbilt, right? He's a transfer, came from the SEC in Vanderbilt. He had 2 20 and 10 nights all season, last season for Vanderbilt. They were his last 2 games of the year. The last regular season game and their loss in the SEC tournament, and Vanderbilt didn't get to go to the NCAA tournament. So you could argue, once he gets 20 and 10, every game for every season that he's ever played from that point forward has been 20 and 10. Walk into it with some swagger. Elliot Cadeau went 3 of 3 from 3 against Duke. He hadn't made 3 total threes in a game, let alone perfect from 3-on-3 attempts. He hadn't made 3 threes in a game since the opener against Elon. Walk into this game with some swagger. There's zero doubt in my mind UNC, from a just pure physically talent gifted standpoint, is significantly ahead of San Diego State. Have they been a better basketball team? Not at all points in time this season. But from pure running, jumping, shooting, dribbling, like you boil it down to the blocking and tackling, they are a better team than better team than San Diego State. UNC is. The thing they have to conquer is between the ears. The thing they have to conquer is blocking out the distractions. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of analysts that don't think you should be in the NCAA tournament. Guess what? John Rothstein called it like the biggest injustice since, I don't even know, some war crime in the during World War II. The people are going over the top saying you should not be in the NCAA tournament. If you're going to use it as positive motivation, chip on your shoulder, fine. If you're going to let it, ruin your swag, block it out, compartmentalize.
Yeah, Rothstein called it, I heard him on a podcast, he called it the biggest miscarriage of justice he's seen like 4 times in a 5-minute span.
Miscarriage of justice, but we're not being too dramatic about it. Right? There's a team that is the 67th best team in the country being treated like the 69th best team in the country. That is a miscarriage of justice, according to John Rothstein, and many others. He's just one to highlight. Block it out if you have to. Use it as motivation if you have to. It is a new lease on life for UNC. You made it. What do you do with it from this point forward? That's up to you. And it starts tonight. I'll give you the exact time. It starts at 9:10 tonight in Dayton, Ohio. That's how every good night starts in my book. The party don't start till just after 9 p.m. in Dayton, Ohio. There's actually a playing game before it, St. Francis and Alabama State, 6:40. So the party, that'll be the pregame. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. A lot of people, we'll just play this audio for you quickly. A lot of people were interested in Seth Trimble's reaction during the NCAA Tournament selection show. They showed UNC as they were named in, and everyone was excited. Seth Trimble, kind of like assassin-like, kind of stone-faced. He was asked during the NCAA tournament presser about his initial reaction to making the tourney.
I mean, I expected ourselves to make the tournament, but the show had literally just started, so I was kind of just zoned out a little bit, or locked in, whatever you want to say. And then it was a crazy full circle moment for me, because my dad and I 2 days ago were just talking about, how we could get the opportunity to play in Milwaukee. And I always joke about what Coach Davis bringing the team to Milwaukee, playing a game against Marquette, whatever it is. But now we actually get the opportunity. So a bunch of things are going on in my mind, but that was definitely the biggest one. Then I've seen a lot of people say, I don't know if you're familiar with this, clip farming or farming. That's what we say in this generation. So I've seen a lot of jokes from it, but I was really just locked in on the show. And super excited in the moment.
I kind of wish he would have leaned into it. Said like on Kobe. I don't know if everybody's seen this. Kobe went up, what was it, 2-0 in a series at one point. Everybody was all happy. They asked him why he wasn't smiling, and he just responded, "Job finished? I don't think so."
What's there to be happy about?
That's such a gangster phrase. How awesome would it have been if Seth Trimble was making the tournament? Job not finished. What's there to be happy about? Instead, he was I was just zoned out and just kind of watching. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll continue to preview that game and the tournament in general We actually have Andy Katz joining the show a little bit later on. Who does some Turner Sports analysis. You know Andy Katz, College Sports Insider. He'll be joining the show in the 4 o'clock hour. Duke will be joining the party. They don't have to play in the play-in games, if that's what you want to call them, in Dayton. They're a number 1 seed, and they actually have to wait for the play-in games to find their opponent. But the hype is through the roof, and there's the challenge for John Shire and Duke. Stick around. More of that will be coming up next. But first, I'm Tim Donnelly for Maynard Service Company. In March, you're looking for the do-it-all, right? You're looking for the player that can shoot. You're looking for the player that can pass, can defend, can rebound, hustle, can be a coach on the court. That's Maynard Service Company, right? You don't call a defensive specialist to shoot threes. You don't call a three-point shooter to rebound. But you do call Maynard for heating and cooling and plumbing and electric and anything else you can think of. I bet you they'll give you some motivation. They'll coach your team. They'll do it all, right? I guess their owner Brett would be the coach, but their technicians are all do-it-all performers. And the best part, if they don't know, somebody in Maynard Service Company does. They have experts in just about everything that can go wrong or needs maintenance within your house. Again, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and more. Give them a call. Call your do-it-all player, right? Your player that you lean on in the biggest clutch moments. The number to call is 919-361-0993. I mean, what's more clutch than something like a leak in your house? Right? That's crunch time. Every second counts. How many timeouts do you have? 919-361-0993 is the number to call. Or you can go online, MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service covering the entire triangle. We look at the hype for Duke coming up next. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
It's clear that Luka has breathed new life into this Lakers franchise, and LeBron James has been energized by it. And guys, starting to get my hopes up.
Oh, no.
Starting to get my hopes up. I'm starting to believe. I'm now at the place where I expect a deep playoff run, where I expect the Lakers to be in the championship round.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Hello, Creighton Blackwell here at Coastal Credit Union 99.9 The Fan, and we're here to celebrate yet another Scholar Athlete. This month, we're at Middle Creek High School, where we celebrate our newest Scholar Athlete of the Month, Kristen Norton.
My parents have always been there for me. And then my teammates, they really helped me with the mental part of it. So they really helped bring me up when I make mistakes or something and just keep me grounded.
She's just a great person. She's a great leader by example and also vocally.
She's just that type of person. It doesn't matter what the situation is, anything that can help the team. She's a great young lady.
It's amazing to have on the team. She's a really good role model and a leader on the team.
She's always first to step in and try something new to help the team.
1, 2, 3, Mustang!
What does winning this award mean to you?
It just means that all my hard work has really shown. Some days I'm what have I done? What have I accomplished? But getting this was people have actually seen my improvements and my accomplishments. So it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Congratulations, Kristen.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326. That's AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Are you suffering from chronic joint pain or just struggling with daily activities because of discomfort in your knees, back, or other parts of your body? Well, I've got great news. It's called DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, a solution that can help you get back to feeling like yourself again without the risks of invasive surgery or long-term prescription drug use. DaVita Med Spa and Wellness is a regenerative medicine clinic. Their innovative treatment options address the root cause of your pain to promote healing and prevent re-injury for long-lasting pain relief. If you have arthritis, joint pain, sports injuries, or other conditions, their highly trained medical providers will develop a cutting-edge treatment plan tailored just for you with little to no downtime. DaVita Med Spa and Wellness can get you back to doing the things you love. Call DaVita Med Spa and Wellness today, spelled DVIDA. Call 984-333-1313, 984-333-1313, 984-333-1313.
Tim Donnelly here for Zero Res. Right now, you can beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at $119, and take 20% off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online anytime at ZeroResRaleigh.com. Just say you want the 99.9 The Fan special. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Hey man, been to Sharky's lately?
Yeah, man, I was there last night with you.
Oh, yeah. The wings and the burgers are killer. They have so many beers it's hard to choose,
I know. They got trivia on Tuesdays and luck of the draw darts on Sunday, man. I love them both.
Yeah, I love that place, man.
You know what, man? I think Sharky's may be the best bar in the world.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. Let's go grab a beer.
Sharky's at the corner of Delta Lake Drive and Durham Road. Open 7 days a week.
Way. Cooper will lead the break. To the right, Proctor to lay it in. And the lead grows to 13. How about the defense for Cooper and Knipple? And there was a foul on that shot as well.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Tuesday. Just heard a highlight from Duke. Duke men's basketball heading into the NCAA tournament as the number 2 overall seed. And if it's possible, I think Duke would be justified in being upset with their seeding. They are a number 1 seed. They're facing the winner of American and Mount St. Mary's on Friday. It'll actually be right here in Raleigh, playing at the Lenovo Center, 2:50 on Friday, 2:50 in the afternoon. I actually think Duke probably should have been the number 1 overall seed, but we're splitting hairs if you're getting too upset about that. And we talked about earlier today that the UNC battle tonight for their play-in game, their Dayton game, is between the ears. I'm looking at Duke's challenge, and I think a lot of it is in the coaching staff. It's really easy to forget because we're this is for better and worse, right? We're just exposed to Duke a lot more. They're played on national television. People talk about them, right? It's a national brand, all those things, similar to UNC, similar to Kansas. But it does make it seem like Jon Scheyer's been the coach much longer than he has. This is his 3rd season. And he had not been a head coach anywhere else. He had been an assistant. Like, he's still learning. And Scheyer has to deal with a legendary, blue blood problem. A legendary Duke problem. It's a problem that 4 schools have dealt with more than any other school, and I'll tell you who they are in a second. But the challenge is this. The target is on your back. You're the favorite. Expectations are the highest for you. Duke is, right now, the betting favorite to win the national championship at plus 320. They are plus 320 to win the whole darn thing. A notoriously hard-to-predict tournament, and they're plus 320. Florida's next up, plus 380. Auburn, 3rd betting favorite, plus 400. Now Duke as a school, just like UNC, is obviously used to that. Matter of fact, these are the 4 schools I mentioned. UNC is number 1 all-time with 18 number 1 seeds in their history. They've been a number 1 seed 18 times. Duke and Kansas are tied for 2nd with 15 historical number 1 seeds, and only Kentucky, out of the rest of college basketball, has at least double-digit 1 seeds. Those 4 schools, UNC, Duke, Kansas, Kentucky. They've all been number 1 seeds at least 10 times. UNC in first with 18, Duke tied for 2nd with 15. But guess who has never been in that situation? Jon Scheyer. He's never been the head coach of a team seeded higher than 4th. Scheyer's first season, Duke was a 5 seed. That is the lowest seed in a full season for Duke since 2007. There was obviously some weird COVID years in there that Coach K dealt with. But in a full season, the lowest they've been seeded is 5th. Last year, they were a 4 seed. That's not a ton better. This year, they're the number 2 overall seed. That is a coaching challenge to me. You have to make sure your team is not buying into their hype at all, despite the fact that their hype is everywhere. I've said this a billion times. I love trash talk after a win. I think that to the victor goes the spoils. I think it's part of the reason why we come to sports, is to let a little bit of our primal, a little bit of our primitive kind of instincts take over. So, yeah, if you win against a rival, you're going to talk some trash. They did that, right? Con Knipple made some jokes in the post game. Isaiah Evans did some subtweeting, I guess would be the term. Like little, if you know comments towards UNC. If you do it, I love it. It's great. But you can't let the confidence that comes with that infiltrate your mind into being maybe arrogant. And it is a fine line. ESPN put out a list, as they often do. What are sports websites if not WeMakeLists.com? ESPN put out a list of the 50 best NBA prospects in the tourney. Basically, they put this out every year. So if you're an NBA fan more than a college fan, and everybody's going to be watching college basketball, it's like, hey, here are the names to watch for. Here are the players that could end up being draft picks. So they have a list of 50 in order, best NBA prospects whose teams are still alive in the tournament. For Duke, number 35 was Sion James. Number 33 was Tyrese Proctor. Number 28 was Isaiah Evans. Number 5 was Kaman Malawash. Number 4 was Con Knipple. And number 1 was Cooper Flagg. Now, that is absurd. I'll give you a little bit of math there. If every team in the tourney has 12 players, that's 816 total players. They have 6 of the top 35. If there are 340 starters, Duke has a bench player above all but 27 of them. Because Isaiah Evans, coming off the bench, 28th. Duke has 6 of the top 35 overall prospects, 3 of the top 5. And I'm saying this, and you may be thinking I'm going over the top with it, because that's what it is. It's over the top. People are praising you everywhere you turn. What's the saying? Like, don't Google yourself. Don't check on Twitter because you might not like what you like or what you read. I actually think it's better to check Twitter when you don't like what you read for a team. It's worse to check Twitter or to Google your name or to set up Google alerts or to go see what people are saying about you on the blogs when everything is positive. Because if you believe that, that's what really scares a coach. If you go on Twitter and people are calling you no good, people are saying you can't shoot, people are saying you can't defend, people are saying your schedule is too easy, people are saying that's you use that as motivation. That's how you get locked in. If you tune in and you see, hey, this team is unbelievable. No, nobody's even close. That's the scary stuff. And I think that's a coaching challenge more than anything. Once upon a time, it may have been the veterans on the team, but I mean, even their veterans have been at Duke for like a day, right? Sion James, Mason Gillis, Malik Brown. These guys showed up in the offseason. Tyrese Proctor's been around for 3 years, but guess what? He's never been higher than a 4th seed either. It is the what Nick Saban used to call the rat poison that is a big challenge for Jon Scheyer right now. Can't get caught up in your own hype. I mean, how did I start this? I started this whole conversation saying they have a legitimate gripe with their seeding. They're the number 2 overall seed. If that's not, hey, you're pretty darn good, I don't know what is. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll take a break. We have the Dean's List coming up and an all-time historic bad decision by the committee. And no, that's the selection committee. And no, we're not talking about their decision to put UNC in. I think that was a good decision. A different historic bad decision coming up.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Folks, who's cutting down the nets this year? All the turn to action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. All tournament long, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay-Varina. arena. People are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale, 19 minutes from Clayton, and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get up to $12,000 off a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado with Trade Assist program when you trade in a 2011 or newer passenger car or truck. Together, let's drive.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business?
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's hockey season, baby. I live and work on both coasts, and here's the deal. There's nothing like Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, including half-price pizzas Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before.
Oh, yeah! Big money!
Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
So, you found the one and want to get married? Next step, you need the ring. And not just any ring. The perfect engagement sparkle that exemplifies your love. Bailey's Fine Jewelry is here to help. Our diamond experts, wide selection of high-quality diamonds, and financing make saying I do easy. We guarantee you'll love the ring or your money back. You're invited to see why Bailey's has been voted best place to buy your diamonds. Visit us today in-store or at baileybox.com to find out more.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account imported on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to its sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Don't go through another year with all that high interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and a personal loan, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 919-381-1760, or visit loanpronto.com. Get a free rate quote with no hard credit pull, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com.
Tar Heels the other way. Trimble in the left corner offensively. Gets into the paint, kicks it in the corner to Withers. Extra pass to an open Ian Jackson. Heels need it, and they get it for 3.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Max, you're brand new here, so you don't know this.
I was told to ask why this song means so much to you.
For those of you that don't know, you're about to get some insight into the way I ended up the way I am, being so competitive and into sports and thinking they're so important. So my family's a very sports-oriented family, right? Got a whole bunch of college football players spread throughout. We all played every sport growing up, grandparents, the whole deal. At my wedding, my mom and I danced to One Shining Moment. That was the mother-son dance at my wedding, was One Shining Moment, Luther Vandross. And every single year, right, One Shining Moment plays after the national championship game, taking videos of it, sending it back and forth, because that's one of, like, the childhood memories I have, is, like, the family watching the NCAA tournament. I was just talking about the first bracket pool I ever won. It was just literally me and my mom were just talking about this, like, the other day, so I'm not making this up. The first bracket pool I ever won was amongst me, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, like a family pool, true family pool, when Carmelo Anthony led the way for Syracuse. I picked Syracuse to win it all. I think I was 11 or 12 years old. And to this day, I remember darn near the entire tournament. I remember Hakeem Warwick. I remember the entire squad. So if you think I'm faking it when I'm like, I think sports are important, or if you think I'm faking it when I'm like, I am going to sit on my couch all day Thursday. I'll be at the Raleigh bracket, the Raleigh location for the games on Friday, and then I'm probably not going to miss a game the rest of the weekend. I am not blowing smoke. It's how I was raised, and we danced to that particular song at my wedding with my mom. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, it's a different kind of tradition, but it's a tradition we do every day here on The Drive. It's called the Dean's List. Class in session. Now, we didn't get to the Dean's List yesterday. We were doing the Monday sound off, so some of these may be a little old, but when somebody does something that needs to be commended, needs to be praised, we want to make sure we get there. I'm going to start with Hunter Salas, Wake Forest guard. Now, this is going back to the ACC tournament, just haven't had a chance to do it yet. Wake didn't have many guys making plays in their loss to UNC. And there were guys that they should have expected to make plays, right? Cameron Hildreth has scored, he's been a 20, 30-point scorer in games. Somebody like Juke Harris was getting in foul trouble and getting scuffles, and I thought he had been a spark at times this year. Efton Reed, a former 5-star recruit, couldn't find the bucket. And Hunter Salas, quite frankly, didn't have his game either, right? We've seen him be an efficient scorer for Wake Forest, and he didn't necessarily have his A game. He scored 25 points. Had to grind a bit to get there, had to kind of work his way around the court. He had 25 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and kept it close at times. So I respect, and I think it deserves praise. I always use the example of Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer can show up to pitch and in warm-ups be like, can't control my off-speed stuff, and my fastball is down 4 miles an hour. I don't know how this is going to go. He almost always walks off the mound like 7 2/3, 2 runs given up, and his team's got the lead. That's what it felt like for Hunter Salas. He showed up and was like, I don't have my A game. Grinded his way to 25, 5, and 2. That's why I think he's going to be a professional. I think he'll work his way into an NBA roster. I don't know if he'll ever be a main contributor, but I think Hunter Salas has a bright future basketball at the highest level ahead of him. Next Dean's List member, Van Allen Lubin, UNC forward. Double-double in every UNC ACC tournament game. And you don't realize how important that is until they're the last team in the NCAA tournament. Right? Even in the game they lost against Duke in the semis, he had 20 and 10, and it turns out the eye test in that game mattered. Right? It turns out, it's like, 20 and 10, but it came in a loss, and then you're like, wait, one second here. If they get blown out in that game, they don't make it in. If they don't have that comeback, they're not playing tonight in Dayton, right? If they roll over and go, at least we made it this far, they don't have their season possibly still alive. So a double-double in every UNC ACC tournament game, specifically the 20-10 and the loss to Duke, despite giving up a bunch of size down low. I just think it's one of those deals that in the moment you didn't realize how important it was. But the fact that it looked good, even in a loss, probably extended their season.
You have to figure he heard all season, too, all the fans and the pundits saying, UNC struggling with size, they don't have a big, and he's really come on late in the season. I think he's been a really big factor in their kind of resurgence here.
Well, I'll give you this. I didn't, what's the meme with Shaq? Like, I apologize, I was not familiar with your game. I was not familiar with his bunnies. He is a significantly more explosive, like vertically jumping ability athlete than I thought. There were multiple times where, right, it's basketball. You're watching the game and there's the scrum for a rebound and everybody's hands are coming up for it, and then one hand just goes, like 8 inches, 10 inches, whatever, higher than everybody else's, grabs the ball. Like Kaman Malawash, 7'2", would be out there. Guys like Jalen Withers or Jalen Washington for UNC, 6'10", 6'11" guys would be out there. And then the hand that reaches a little bit higher out of the scrum would be Van Allen Lubens, who's 6'8", 6'9". So his leaping ability, I probably didn't reference that enough this year, so credit to him for making me. Max, you're producing the show. Do you have a Dean's List member that you'd like to throw in there?
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
My Dean's List is going to take us to the Missouri Valley.
First of all, introduce yourself, everybody. This is Max. He's one of our new members here at 99.9 The Fan. So, Max, say your name.
Yes, Max Gorin.
Where are you from?
I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
There you go. We won't hold it against you. What do you have for us?
My Dean's List is going to take us to the Missouri Valley over to Drake. For those unaware, Drake, 11 seed, matched up with the 6 seed Missouri in the first round. Their coach this year, Ben McCollum, came from Northwest Missouri State D2, where he won 4 championships in 15 years.
Okay.
And I've got a great cherry pick stat here for their leading scorer, Bennett Sturtz. Only player in the country with more than 600 points, 180 assists, and 70 steals.
Okay.
And the only player in the history of the conference to also achieve those numbers, at Indiana State by the name of Larry Bird.
So it's just him and Bird?
Just him and Bird.
That's fantastic. He should get that stat framed. Have you seen the Thaddeus Young graphic? I'm going to try to find it. If it takes me more than 10 seconds, we won't do it. Do you even know who Thad Young is?
I do.
Okay.
I think I've seen what you're talking about.
All right, here it is. Perfect.
Cherry pick. He's next to like Jordan and LeBron. And
this should be hanging in the house of Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young, NBA player, solid guy for, 8-10 years, something like that. But at one point in time, he was playing on the Pacers. This is just a fun story. It has nothing to do with March Madness. He was playing on the Pacers. It was a Fox Sports game, and Fox Sports put up a graphic that said players with, and I'm going to read them for you, 800 games to average 13.5 points, 5.9 rebounds, 1.4 steals, 49% field goal shooting, and 30% three-point field goal shooting. The only people in the history of the NBA to average at least those specific parameters are Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Thaddeus Young. And they put that graphic up there, and it became like a meme. It sounds like your boy Bennett Sturtz might become one also. It's like all of this, it's just Bennett Sturtz and Larry Bird. I've got another Dean's List here. And this one may be a little controversial. I'm putting Bubba Cunningham on the Dean's List. The athletic director for UNC, who is also the chair of the selection committee for the NCAA Tournament. I might be the only one to, people get really upset, right? The rest of the world got very upset that UNC was in, and because they were a bubble team, and maybe some people thought they should be on the outside of the bubble looking in. But Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, chairs the committee. I think I might be the only one saying this, which is, if I were the chair, if I were the committee chair, and I were the athletic director of a school on the bubble, you darn right I'm calling in favors to put my team in. Where's my allegiance, right? It's a selection committee. It's already objective, as long as it's close. I'm not saying you take a team that's 3-25 and try to slide them in there. But as long as you're on the bubble, you're darn right. You care about these people. You probably believe in them. You probably have a little bit, and this is, Max, you'll learn I like to name my theories. I have the Allen Robinson theory. Allen Robinson, for those of you that don't know, and this is where I get to nerd out a bit, was on my fantasy team like 2015, something like that. He was on the Jaguars. He was a wide receiver. And because he was on my fantasy team, I watched every game. Nobody watched the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2014 or whatever it was, every game. But he was on my fantasy team, so I did. And because of that, I thought he was better than he was. Right? Because every time he was open and Blake Bortles overthrew him, I went, oh, well, okay, that's a touchdown. That should have been a touchdown. And then every time he got tackled at the 1 and then they ran it in, I'd go, oh, well, that's really his touchdown. So in my brain, he's got like 30 touchdowns. The problem was I wasn't doing that for everybody, right? So the other wide receivers, I wasn't going, oh, they missed him. That one still counts. So at the end of the season, I was bloated in my opinion of Allen Robinson completely unintentionally. I didn't set out to overhype him. The same thing happens when, like, Bubba Cunningham only watches UNC, or maybe watches UNC more would be the way to put that. Watches every minute and criticizes and analyzes every minute of UNC. So he's like, oh, they're playing much better now than they were then. You just know more. If that shot would have fallen, if that call would have went the other way, then they would have. They're really, and it's difficult. So I'm not even saying he did anything nefarious. I'm not saying he did anything bad, but I am saying if he was in there arguing for UNC, which I know he left the room, I don't blame him. Get your team in. It's their fault for letting you chair the committee, if we're being honest. I don't blame LeBron for using his connections to get his son into the NBA. I blame the Lakers for letting him push him around. But if you have the wherewithal to help people you care about, yeah, help them.
If you could choose, like, who would be on a committee in a perfect world with no conflict of interest, like, what kind of people would go on that?
I've had this conversation a few times. I wouldn't hate if everyone that carries a college every television that carries a college basketball game during the year gets at least one representative, because I do think they just care about like promoting college basketball. But even that comes with biases, and if you carry the SEC, you want more SEC teams. So I've thought about this. Why not make it a full-time job? Why not come up with 7 people? I mean, this is a $1 billion tournament, right? 7 people, pay them like, I don't know, 6 figures, give them like $120,000 a year, and that's your job. You watch as many, you are responsible for watching every team and analyzing every stat. And then you 7, like, as soon as the committee releases their rankings, you're all at a press conference. You're sitting on tables with microphones, and they get to grill you, and you have to have answers for everything. That's like, transparency is most important. And then, you want to take a different job, you want to go somewhere else, we'll replace you. We'll get some new smart kid from Yale Econ to walk in there and figure it out. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's a great lead in here as we dump out of the Dean's List, because the committee messed up in a big way. And it's in a way that not enough people are talking about. Once we get over arguing about whether UNC should or should not have been in the tournament, or West Virginia, if they're what is it, their governor? Who's suing the NCAA? Their governor? I'm getting the thumbs up. Their governor is suing the NCAA because they were snubbed. Once we get by all of that, we have to talk about the insulting seating for Louisville. And I, as a ACC proponent, right, I like to pretend I'm like the mouthpiece of the Atlantic Coast Conference. I think this is a bigger deal than snubs. I think this is a bigger deal than West Virginia, or a bigger deal than Boise State, or these teams that didn't get in. And here's why. Louisville earned the right to be one of the best teams in the country. That this isn't the 71st team arguing that they're actually the 67th best team in the country. This is a top 10 team in the country with a legit gripe that you're ruining part of their opportunity to go have a successful storybook season. And that's not me saying they're a top 10 team in the country. That's the AP poll. The Associated Press top 10 right now has Louisville as the 10th best team in the country. That's every team. They're 10th best, according to the AP. Their seed, 8. Not 8th overall, 8 in their bracket. The ACC should be so furious with this. And it's actually kind of a side effect of the UNC getting in the discussion. We talked about it earlier. John Rothstein said it's a miscarriage of justice, and everybody has some phrase that they use with that. And Bubba Cunningham's the committee chair. We've talked about it. But the reason why I say it's a side effect is it seems like the ACC isn't being allowed to be mad about anything else because UNC made the tournament. It's like, I don't know. You have to, yeah, sure, we may have slighted you there, but UNC got in, so you sit there and you be happy. Right? If Duke wanted to complain about being the number 1 overall seed, oh, come on, UNC got in, the ACC can't talk. Louisville should be ready to fist fight the committee for being an 8 seed. Remember that AP top 10 I just talked about? Louisville's the 10th team in the AP poll right now. I'm going to read you in order, starting with the number 1. Duke is the number 1 team in the AP top 10. I'm going to read you the seeds in the NCAA tournament for the AP top 10 in order, starting with number 1. Duke, number 1, is a 1 seed. Houston, number 2, is a 1 seed. Florida, number 3, is a 1 seed. Auburn, number 4, is a 1 seed. St. John's, number 5, is a 2 seed. Then Tennessee is a 2 seed. Then Alabama is a 2 seed. Michigan State is a 2 seed. The 9th team in the country, Texas Tech, is a 3 seed. And the 10th team is an 8 seed. They are an 8 seed. Going into Selection Sunday in the AP poll, Louisville was a 13th team in the country. They were number 13 in the AP poll heading into Selection Sunday before they shuffled them up yesterday. I'm going to read you historically over the last 12 seasons the NCAA tournament seed for the teams that were ranked 13th going into Selection Sunday. 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, and Louisville is 8th. I have a 3-year-old. He's about to be 4, coming up later this month at home. And so I know all the little kid songs. I'll sing one for you. One of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong. The 8th seed doesn't fit in with the rest. And it's, by the way, you may be saying, oh, you're putting too much in the AP poll. Cool. How about this? Their net ranking is 24th, which even at worst would indicate a 6th seed. They have 15 Quad 1 and Quad 2 victories, which some people seem to care a ton about. They've beaten 4 Quad 1 teams, and they went 11-1 in opportunities against Quad 2. Their non-conference schedule, right? Oh, maybe they didn't schedule anybody. They scheduled Tennessee, Indiana, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Kentucky in their non-conference schedule. Most of them were ranked when they played. Well, maybe they didn't end the season well. They made it all the way to their conference championship game without one of their best players, the shooter, Rain. Didn't play since the beginning of March. They made it all the way to the final of the Atlantic Coast Conference where they lost to the number 1 team in the country. And if you listen to the committee, the number 2 team in the country. Yet somehow they're an 8 seed. Make it make sense. You can't. Well, there's been 100 times over the last 2 years where it's become a joke, it's said so often. The ACC needs a Paul Feinbaum. The ACC needs a Greg Sankey, who's the commissioner of the SEC. They need someone that has access to the biggest and loudest and most often heard microphones in the country that takes something like this and lights up the selection committee. There has to be consequences for being that bad. Has to be. And the reason why we say Feinbaum, for those who don't know, Paul Feinbaum, ESPN, he is a shill for the SEC. The reason why we say Feinbaum is because he doesn't let logic get in the way of arguing for the SEC. So if somebody were to, Louisville needs to be a 4 seed. Rah, 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 rah. If someone were to argue back and go, well, UNC made it so the ACC doesn't have any qualms, he would go, UNC should have been a 9 seed. Like, you just doubled down because the other conferences are. Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, was everywhere arguing that the SEC should have 14 teams in the NCAA tournament. Who was out there arguing that the ACC should have 4? And why were you stopping at 4? 5. Right? Why isn't, I don't know, Wake Forest in? Why isn't SMU in? Make the arguments, because if you don't, it's a like, give an inch, take a mile thing. If they push you and you don't push back, they're going to push you again. Louisville being an 8 seed is historically bad. Historically bad. And if they can pull off something historically bad and they're not even have to answer for it publicly because no one's forcing the conversation, then what's to stop them from taking another ACC team in the top 10 of the AP poll next year and putting them in the play-in games in Dayton?
The lack of transparency is tough, especially there are a lot of questionable seeds this year, like Michigan coming off a Big Ten championship, like they're a 5 seed. Colorado State, like pretty good at-large team, won 9 in a row. They're a 12 seed. They're actually favored over the 5 seed Memphis. A lot of questionable stuff going on.
And that's why I said earlier, whoever ends up being, and like I said, I think it should be a full-time job. They should have a committee. It should be their job. Whoever ends up, it shouldn't just be the chair that talks to the media. Everyone in that room should be at a joint presser for as long as the media wants to ask questions after they release their bracket. Because why is Louisville an 8? I need an answer. Right? If you have one, I can disagree with it, right? Well, they're there because, they're Ken Palm, offense to defense ratio, like whatever it is. If you have an answer, we can talk. But I can't come up with one. I can't see what you did there. If you want to keep UNC out, I see what you did there. All right, I don't know if quad 1 wins. There you go. I don't know. I don't know why Louisville got the raw end of the stick there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You want transparency? How about this? Gordon Miller and Miller Lending, who I'm here for. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. The transparency is this. No closing costs. Simple, right? No third-party fees. And that's not taking the fees and rolling them over and calling them something else, right? Well, it's not a fee, it's a surcharge. Well, it's not a fee, it's a cost. Well, it's not a fee, it's a tax. No. No closing cost means no closing costs at Miller Lending. And what that allows you to do is if your mortgage is locked in, maybe you locked it in at one of these all-time highs we've had in the last year or two, and you want it to be lower. Maybe rates have dropped a little bit. Refinance. No cost out of your pocket. No cash out of your pocket. Just get that monthly fee, that monthly rate that you have to pay, the monthly payment for your mortgage, lowered. And if rates drop again 2 weeks from now, if they drop again 2 months from now, if they drop again 2 years from now, keep doing it, because none of those times is there any money out of your pocket. It's a no closing cost loan, and I don't know how we can be more transparent than that. The number to call, 919-447-3377. They'll answer all your questions. Unlike the committee, right? They've got a phone number, and they're locally owned. You could go find them. They're down there in Cary. You go knock on the door. 919-447-3377. You can also visit them online for more info, millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's time for a little football at 4. How much better is the Panthers defense? We know it's different. Is it better? Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
I love this time of year. Filling out the brackets, it's like going to the weirdest farmer's market ever. Yeah, I'll take some of those 15 seeds, couple of mid-majors, and what do you got on that top seed shelf there? No? Yeah, I'll take that second seed. All right, one bracket down, just 15 more to go.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system ready for the changing season? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
It's the Jeep Celebration event at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get ready for the ride of your life with 25% off your new 2024 Jeep Gladiator. Cruise through the toughest terrain, tackle any adventure, and look great doing it. Whether you're off-roading or on the road, the Gladiator is built for all. So get off your keister and get to Heister because this deal won't last long. See dealer for details. Hurry into the Jeep Celebration event. On now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why? It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T&Cs apply.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at $119 and take $20 off your air duct cleaning. Book online anytime at ZeroResRaleigh.com and say you want the $99.9 The Fan special.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's gonna finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's a beautiful day out there, not as windy as yesterday. Midday temperatures in the 60s with highs in the low to mid 70s this afternoon. Middle 40s overnight, mainly clear, partly cloudy Wednesday, breezy with high temperatures near 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 260 points to 41,581. Market update brought to you by UNC Chapel Hill Development Office. Save the date for Give UNC. Mark your calendars for March 25th and get ready to make an impact at UNC Chapel Hill. This hour of The Drive is also brought to you by Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Deep River wants you to come fight the clay invasion. Come shoot down clay targets at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Visit deepriversportingclays.com.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4. I know it is the start of one of the coolest basketball situations of the entire year, but at 4 o'clock we talk pigskin. It's what we do here on The Drive. And the Panthers went into the offseason with one obvious goal above all the rest. Improve the defense. It's almost like, have you seen the movie Draft Day? Anybody? Yeah. Kevin Costner movie. It's a guilty pleasure. Vontae Mack, no matter what, right? He wrote it down on the thing before the draft. It's almost like the Panthers went into the offseason with fix the defense no matter what. So did they flirt with the idea maybe of trading for a wide receiver? Sure. Are they going to scout like offensive linemen? Of course they are. But when it comes down to decision-making time, where did they spend their money? Defense, defense, defense. Defense, defense. And where will they likely draft, at least with the premier picks? Defense, defense, defense. So if the goal was improve the defense no matter what, how'd they do? Through free agency, how'd they do? They've added 4 projected starters. We're talking about defensive end Tershawn Wharton from the Chiefs, nose tackle Bobby Brown, it's his prerogative, from the Rams, strong safety Trayvon Moehrig, big money free agency safety from the Raiders, and inside linebacker Christian Roseboom from the Rams. Christian Roseboom, by the way, one of the coolest nicknames I've ever heard. His last name is Rose Boom. They call him the Exploding Flower.
That is a cool nickname.
See what's going on there? Rose, boom, exploding flower. Anyway, they also added edge rusher Pat Jones from the Vikings. He'll be likely backing up but rotating in with Jadeveon Clowney, DJ Wonnum on the edge. They re-signed J.C. Horn, made him at the time the highest paid defensive back in the league. No longer. That was broken by Derek Stingley. And they re-signed their opposite corner, Michael Jackson, not that one, as well. Most importantly, though, as far as improving the offense, they're expecting to have Derek Brown back in the lineup after missing darn near the entire year last year. He's the best run-stuffing defensive tackle in the game. So, how good did they do? How well did they do at improving their defense? That was their only goal. They're a more talented defense, no doubt. Right? If you just add up the players that left and you add up the players that showed up, the players that showed up are better than the players that left. But that's not necessarily the question, right? Talent doesn't always the sum of the parts, whatever that saying is. Here's what the entire offseason, the success of the offseason hinges on. Can anyone get their hands on the ball? Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. Can anyone get their hands on the ball on defense? They had 17 forced turnovers last year. That's not enough. J.C. Horn is great. Love him. I don't know if he should have made him the highest paid defensive back in NFL history, but I have a feeling that contract won't look as bad 3, 4, 5 years from now when you see what defensive backs are about to start getting. So he's great, especially when healthy. But he's got 37 career games. He has 5 career interceptions, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries. Doesn't get his hands on the ball enough. You may say, all right, but that's a corner. You can just throw it to the other side, right? The better one corner is, if the other side is not good, why would you throw it at the good corner? Fair. Let's look at everybody else. Derek Brown, I mentioned. He's great. One of my favorite players in the NFL. 103 tackles last time he played a full season from the interior of the defensive line. That's crazy. But he's a run stuffer. He's not getting sacks. He's not getting strip sacks. He's not knocking the ball out of his hands. Right? He's stopping the run. Trayvon Moehrig, really solid. I'm excited to see what he can do at the strong safety spot for Carolina. 66 career games. 6 interceptions. Somebody is going to have to be a ball hawk. Somebody is going to have to find a way to get their hands on the ball, or else you're just going to make it very difficult for them to go 12 plays and score. right? The way, and by the way, I'm not the only one to say this. I'm going to say something right now, and you're all going to go, goodness gracious, Chris Collinsworth, you say this 12 times every game. The way the league is built is to promote offense. The way the refs call the game is to promote scoring. The way that teams spend money is to promote scoring. They want high flying. They want highlights. They want the fantasy football positions to be good. So it's becoming more and more and more difficult to just have a defense that can stop offensive football. Quarterbacks are getting so darn good at checking it down against two shell, and wide receivers are getting faster and better, and you'll see it in the draft, and it happens every year. Now running backs are back in vogue. Like the offense is going to be good across the league. Do you see what the Bengals just did? They're completely skipping defense and paying all of their money to three guys on offense with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow. Offense, offense, offense. So it's becoming more and more difficult to just, stop an offense for 4 downs. And by the way, coaches are going for it on 4th down more often, right? 4th and 3 used to be, heck yeah, forced to punt. Now it's like, well, we're not on our own goal line, so let's go for it. So you got to stop offenses 4 consecutive plays. That's really difficult. You know what's easier? Making one great play on any of those 4 plays and getting your hands on the ball and then going to take a rest on the bench while your offense, which should be high-flying and creative, goes out there on the field. I really like what the defense is doing. I think they are going to be darn near impossible to run the ball consistently against. Right, when you make, because even Jadeveon Clowney, DJ Wanham, when they're healthy, they're edge rushers, but they score, they grade really, really well against the run, right? And then you add in Roseboom, you add in Josie Jewell, you add in that they're really good against the run. The one thing I think they're missing is that ball hawk, right? That TJ Watt type of player, that Myles Garrett type of player, strip sacks, or the ball hawk in the secondary. Right, somebody that not only gets PBUs, pass breakups, not only has a low passer rating against, but gets their hands on the ball, maybe jumps a route or two to go force a turnover. It's the all-time equalizer. Not to mention what it can do for your offense, right? Setting up short fields, turning defense to offense, pick sixes, right? It's such a bit. Forcing a turnover in football is such a big deal. I guarantee you it's going to happen. Watch the press conferences or watch the interviews with coaches during March Madness. The college basketball, watch the interviews with college basketball coaches during March Madness. They'll talk about turnovers being pick sixes. They call them pick sixes. When you turn over a ball, when you turn it over in basketball and it leads to immediate points. When defense turns to offense in basketball, they call them pick sixes because it's that known. It's that much of a thing. The most important thing your defense can do is get their hands on the ball. I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson, the corner opposite J.C. Horn. These are all good players. They're not necessarily the type that get their hands on the ball a ton. With that being said, they have the 8th overall pick. Maybe that's where they're getting their bit of spice, their bit of seasoning for what is a very, very solid meal. Right? Obviously, if like an Abdul Carter or a Travis Hunter or something, outlandish happens and they fall, boom, you got your guy that gets the ball skills out. But if you don't have that, where do you look to force turnovers? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Super excited for the guest joining us after the break at this time of year, March 18th. Right, this might as well be December 23rd for Michael Bublé. We have Andy Katz, College Hoops Insider for Turner Sports, Big Ten Network, a bunch of other outlets, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline coming up next to talk hoops. Stick around.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, don't go through another year with all that high-interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and a personal loan, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 919-381-1760, or visit loanpronto.com. Get your free rate quote now with no hard credit pull. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Adam Gold Show.
Look, it wasn't going to work out with Mikko Rantanen, obviously. Should they have known? Probably, but they didn't. So, you make the best out of the situation. You get a guy in Logan Stankoven who fits the way you guys play. Now move forward. You also get some draft capital to add pieces down the road. It was never about this year anyway. It was always about the future. This team can still win it now.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before.
Oh, yeah! Big money!
Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Joint pain in your knees, shoulders, or lower back. It can stop you in your tracks. At DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, we offer a revolutionary course of treatment that can eliminate your joint pain and have you back to your old self in no time. Our regenerative therapies actually help repair damaged tissue to eliminate the pain without risky invasive surgery. If you suffer with joint pain and have been told your only options are medications, steroid injections, or surgery, DaVita Med Spa and Wellness.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's hockey season, baby. I live and work on both coasts, and here's the deal. There's nothing like Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, including half-price pizzas Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Attention watch enthusiasts and collectors. Bailey's Fine Jewelry invites you to an exclusive pre-owned Rolex event happening for 2 days only, March 21st and 22nd at their Village District location in Raleigh. Discover North Carolina's largest selection of vintage and pre-owned Rolex timepieces, featuring sought-after models like the Daytona and Submariner, and collector favorites like the iconic Pepsi and Hulk. Whether you're a seasoned collector or searching for your very first Rolex, this is your chance to explore an unmatched collection, March 21st and 22nd, only at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Village District. Visit BaileyBox.com for event details. Your perfect Rolex awaits.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
To Withers on the left sideline, hands off to R.J. Davis, back to Cadeau. He's going to get into the lob action with Vinal and Lubin, who hammers it home.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, is very excited to welcome our next guest to the Heister Automotive Group hotline and to the show. Andy Katz, College Hoops Insider, Turner Sports, Big Ten Network, bunch of other outlets. You know Andy Katz. You can find him on Twitter at the Andy Katz. Andy, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm excited not just for the games to start tonight, so the games start, but also maybe so we can stop having the conversation that I'm going to start this with. Are you as upset as everyone else in the world that UNC made it into the tournament?
Well, actually, I mean, look, when they lost to Duke, I didn't think they were going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. But to be honest, I thought the more egregious admission was Xavier. I actually had North Carolina behind Xavier. So that's the one that I was more surprised by, because Xavier lost to Marquette down the stretch in the Big East tournament. I did not think Xavier had done enough to warrant a bid. And so I had Carolina ahead of Xavier. I mean, I had Indiana, West Virginia ahead of Carolina and Xavier. And Carolina was my last team out. So, I had Xavier behind them. So to me, it was more egregious that Xavier was ahead of North Carolina and was safe, sort of, more safe in than Carolina.
All right. I can take that as, I think UNC fans were like, yeah, point all those arrows at Xavier now. Because I just know they're all in arguments.
Obviously, I mean, look, it's just it is a bad coincidence.
The optics.
Bubba Cunningham's the AD, is the chair. But I will tell you, people may not believe it, the conspirators, but I've been around the committee a lot the last few years. I've done the mock, and they do leave the room when their team or, is discussed, or any team from your conference if you're a commissioner. And there's 12 people, so there's 12 votes. We'll get a lot of answers tonight. Look, here's what's going to happen. If they win, it'll quiet some people, may not quiet everyone, or, ridiculous governors making statements, trying to sue on an opinion.
Uh-huh.
And, but if they lose, in a close game, that's one thing. If they lose badly, of course, the chirping will be even louder. Like last year, okay? So I was at the Virginia-Duke game. That was, I think, the last week of the regular season. I think that was the Saturday before the last Carolina game. And Virginia was awful. They couldn't score. And last year, I was surprised they got in, and then they got absolutely blasted in the first four. So that sort of added to the chorus that they shouldn't have been in. So, we'll see what happens tonight. It'll be interesting.
All right. I do have obvious access to your bracket. We're talking with Andy Katz, College Hoops Insider. Why are you choosing San Diego State in your bracket to beat UNC, knowing that the chirps are going to be louder then?
Not because of any of that. My issue is, and I know they're not as good as they've been, but they still defend extremely well. They are incredibly tough. And I think they're just going to be right in those guards' grill.
Mm-hmm.
And so I expect a lower scoring game. I think Carolina obviously fares better when it gets up and down more. And I think San Diego State's really going to try to limit that. That's been their mantra, and they've been really good at it. Now, they have not played as well lately. I understand that, and people can make arguments about their entrance as well. I mean, really all four of the teams in the first four. And that's the thing. The first four that got in, the four that got out, I mean, all 8 of them are flawed. And that's also another reason why I'm not a fan of expansion, because I really feel like you're really trying to just squeeze these last couple spots for teams that are just, they're not high level. Maybe they are brand wise, but they're not playing at a high level. And so I really don't think it should go, to 72, 76, which is where if it happens, I think that's where it's going. It's not going beyond 76. If anything, it would be just a few more. And the one thing I'll just say on this is that it sounds simple, but there is a lot of value on this bracket being on one piece of paper.
Thank you. An 8.5 by 11. I've been saying that for a long time.
I know it sounds simple, but the beauty of this tournament, one of the main reasons that it is so universally loved is anyone can fill it out, and everyone does. And it's from kids to grandparents to people that don't even pay any attention to the sport, like names, like mascots, you name it. It's one piece of paper. No one's printing out multiple pieces of paper and stapling and, putting a paper clip on. That's not happening. Or do we want to make it so tiny that you can't even see it when you print it out? So I really think it's got to stay on one piece of paper, and I think there's value. And then obviously financially, they're not going to do it if Turner and CBS say we're not going to increase the value, because that would mean the unit would stay the same of what each school would get. It would just be divided 4 or 8 more ways.
Andy Katz, College Hoops Insider, Turner Sports, TNT, Big Ten Network. You can follow him on Twitter at @TheAndyKatz. Andy, on your bracket, you have Auburn over Duke in the championship. A little chalky, but your brain tells you what your brain tells you. We'll look at Duke here. What is their biggest flaw? If they're going to be tripped up early, or if they're going to be on upset alert, what is going to do Duke in?
Well, first, we have to see how Cooper Flagg is. If I knew 100% Cooper Flagg was 100% healthy, I probably would have picked them to win it. I think it said a lot, that they won the ACC tournament without him. Obviously he didn't even play the whole Georgia Tech game. So they pretty much won this whole tournament without him. And that says a lot. They've got other lottery picks, first-round picks on that squad. So we're going to wait and see. I'll be shocked if he plays a ton in the first game because he doesn't need to. I don't sense any 16-1 by American or Mount St. Mary's. But the next game, that's the second-round game on Sunday. That's where we'll find out. And if you wait till Sunday, then you're looking at a full almost 10 days from when he got hurt. So we'll see how that all plays out. To me, the danger zone in this bracket come 2 places for Duke. One is Oregon. If Oregon plays its best, and that means Jackson Shelstad is making threes, they can beat Duke. They can pretty much beat anybody. Early in the season, they were pretty elite. They've got length. They've got depth. They've got a really good defender in TJ Bamba. Nate Biddle and Kwame Evans, they can handle the post. I really like this Oregon team. They hit some rough spots toward the end of the Big Ten season, but I think they're dangerous. If you get by them, then it comes down to if we have an Elite 8 matchup against Alabama, and then how healthy is Grant Nelson. Obviously Alabama, is more than capable of beating anybody and winning the whole thing. So those are, to me, are the 2 potential hurdles for Duke to get out of the East to get to San Antonio. I would also say that Duke, location-wise, and they earned it, they're going to have the fans in Raleigh, obviously, and they will have them in Newark. Anytime Duke plays really in the Northeast, but especially in the New York metro area, it's, as you know, the alumni base is heavy in the north. So it's going to be a great crowd in Newark, assuming Duke is there.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but our listeners will be very upset with me if I don't ask about the Cinderellas, right? Everybody wants the long shots. We enjoyed the NC State run in this part of the country last year. What double-digit seed could capture America's hearts if things break their way?
Well, I know it's a little further west of you, but I'm not buying High Point over Purdue. Could it happen? Sure.
It's going to be trendy. A lot of people are talking about it.
Yes, I know. A lot of people like it. I'm not seeing it. I don't think Purdue's going to get that far, but I don't see them losing in the first round. Maybe I'll be wrong. To me, it's more in the 10s and maybe the 11. Like Drake could beat Missouri. They could go on a run. I could definitely see, New Mexico at least beating Marquette. Maybe they beat Michigan State. Probably not. But I like my 10-7s in this bracket. Arkansas, they played to their seed, not their talent. They're more talented than a 10. But they are 10, and it's Arkansas. But sure, they have the talent to beat Kansas, beat St. John's, and go a fair amount. If it's a one-bid type team, if UC San Diego gets by Michigan, and they'd have to turn them over, which they can do, the Tritons are a trendy pick. They could beat A&M or Yale, and suddenly they could be facing, Auburn in the Sweet 16, and that certainly could happen. And that would be a trendy one. I would also say, if we're looking for, one that's somewhat similar, could I see, again, it's still more of a name, but I could see Colorado State making a really deep run as a 12 seed because Nick Clifford's going to be probably the best player on the floor anyone he goes against. So, again, it's not like a one-bid team. These are some double-digit seeds from top, 5, top 8 conferences that I could see, winning definitely a couple games to get into the Sweet 16.
Last question, and it's just me being a little nosy here. Andy Katz, it's synonymous with college basketball, with March Madness, with the brackets. I'm sure you have people reaching out for every different kind of advice. Who should I take here? Who's the most famous, or give us someone interesting that hits you up for bracket advice every year so they can go impress their friends?
Well, he would say that he didn't take my advice, and he didn't. But obviously, when I did the bracket with the president and President Obama for 8 years, I tried to influence him. I don't get that phone call anymore. But so no, I don't get the famous ones calling me. I mean, I'm sure they look at it and maybe pick the opposite. But look, there are always upsets, and I love how people go after us, who do this for a living. But the bracket, there's a reason no one has ever picked a perfect bracket, because there's always upsets, and we're all trying to kind of speculate onto which ones will occur.
Exactly. That's why it's so fun. Andy, we appreciate you for joining us. Good luck, not only on your bracket, but with all your coverage, and we'll be paying attention.
All right, thanks.
Once again, Andy Katz. Follow him on Twitter at @TheAndyKatz. You can catch him on Sideline Work. You can catch him on Big Ten Network, TNT. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, he's synonymous with college basketball. Appreciate him for taking the time to join us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Andy Katz. There we go. We're dancing. If you're going to play some music, let's play some music. Dancing, right? Big dance. Max producing the show, and that means Max gets to run a little copper drop for us. Let's go ahead and fire that up. Here it comes. Boom. All right, the way copper drop goes, the producer, who today, for the first time, Max, so we'll give him a shot here at a little copper drop. He sets it up. I tell you whether I'm copping or dropping. It's buy or sell. It's in or out. You know the basic structure. Max, go ahead and take it away.
All right, first one here. We discussed this a little bit earlier. Did Louisville get screwed by the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee by being placed as an 8 seed in their region? Copper drop.
Copping. This is as egregious of a seeding mistake as I see on the bracket this year. It's funny just talking with Andy about like the UNC argument. Should they get in? Should they not? And he's going, well, actually, like Xavier's less deserving, and they're in above UNC. Or he's going, the last 4 in, the first 4 out. They've all got problems. Like a calmer mind can really look at the bubble conversation and go, I don't know if any of you are good enough to be mad. Louisville is good enough to be mad. The AP poll has them as the 10th best team in the country right now. They're the 8th team in their own region of the bracket. That makes absolutely no sense. I'm mad for Louisville. I'm not a fan of Louisville. Obviously, ACC all the way. But I don't get it. I can't find the logic. I should have asked Andy, but then he would have just sat there and done the same thing I'm doing, going, I don't know. I can't figure it out. What's up next?
All right, copper drop. Is West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey taking things a little too far by threatening legal action against the NCAA after the Mountaineers tournament stub? The NCAA, which he coined, I believe, the National Corrupt Athletic Association.
Yeah, here's so what's the copper drop? Is he taking it too far?
Yes.
Copping. I talk about this with my wife all the time. I'm very practical, right? If I oftentimes ask myself, what does this accomplish? And if the answer is nothing, I try not to do it, right? If I'm angry about something and I have no control over it, I'm going like, what does that accomplish? What does my anger accomplish? If the answer is nothing, I try not to. Obviously not perfect at it, but that's kind of the way my brain works. I'm looking at this from the governor's standpoint and going, suing the NCAA, what does that accomplish? Are you going to win? Absolutely not. You're suing on opinion. Like the committee gets to decide. Right? So you're suing them to say you don't think that? Like it doesn't make any sense. But think about it this way. I know lawyers. They cost money, right? Whatever that governor, whatever the state of West Virginia is spending to make this hoopla more hoopla-filled, give that to West Virginia's NIL. Those billable hours might be the difference between, getting next year's point guard or having that point guard go to NC State, right, or somewhere else. So the way you can help your team is not by embarrassing yourself with these grandiose public displays of anger at the committee. The way you help your team is by coming up with some funding, is by going to a fundraiser, is by taking that money and giving it to the NIL collective so they can do something with it. What does it accomplish? What they're doing now accomplishes nothing. What they could be doing to accomplish a improved season for next year, so you're not on the bubble, so you're a 2 seed, they're completely ignoring. That's my issue with the whole thing.
All right, Copper Drop. Are the Carolina Hurricanes the hottest team in the NHL right now? Winners of 7 straight, allowed 2 or fewer goals in each of those games. Copper Drop, hottest team in the NHL.
All right, see, now here's the thing. This is a point in the calendar year where there's a lot going on, so I cannot pretend to – actually, I can look at it here. I can look at it here. The Senators have won 6 straight. Technically, I mean, if we're going just factual, they are the hottest team in the league right now. They are on the longest win streak. Ottawa is next up with 6. So I'm going to cop it, but I'm going to cop it anyway for the vibes, right? Even if somebody else had a 9-game win streak, if they didn't have the vibes, I would say that the Canes are hotter. And it's, I asked this on Twitter, right? It's a chicken or the egg situation. Do the goalies play well because the skaters in front of them are playing well? Or are the skaters playing well because the goalie behind them is covering for their mistakes? All I know is Pyotr Kochetkov is one of the hottest goaltenders in the league right now. Freddie, when given his every other day, is playing really, really well. And like most teams, but I'll say this for the Canes are waiting for some guys to get healthy. We're still waiting on William Carrier. We're still waiting on Andrei Svechnikov to get back into the mix. There are some reasons to think that the ceiling is even higher than it is. And then it's just vibes. Ever since Mikko Rantanen was traded away, the vibes are high. And you can say it's small sample size. I would tend to agree with you, but then I would go also like, you're no fun at parties. Let's just live up to it. Let's lean in. Vibes are high. They're the hottest team in the league.
All right, Copper Drop. Aaron Rodgers will not sign with an NFL team by the end of free agency.
All right, so I'm going to double negative this. You're saying he will not sign. So by me dropping, that means he will sign?
I think so.
All right, yeah. I didn't, to be completely honest with you, I didn't know, and I don't know why, he still has such power over full NFL franchises. Actually, I should be clear. There's something holding everything up. Aaron Rodgers will be the domino that falls. Seems like Pittsburgh wants him. Seems like the Giants want him. And Minnesota might want him. If Aaron Rodgers is the one holding this up, if he just wants to, wait for a sign from the Cosmos to tell him which team to go to, or if he's waiting for a team to go from 2 years, $90 million to 2 years, $97 million, if he's the one holding it up, I have no idea why franchises don't go, dude, forget you. We'll sign this other. We'll eat a year and start Mason Rudolph, and we'll stink and draft somebody. Like, I don't know why they let him put a stranglehold on like the league. The only thing I will say is perhaps, and this is me speculating, okay, but Diana Rossini, one of the NFL insiders, did say on her podcast a couple of days ago that I think it was at the Senior Bowl, the Vikings were telling everybody that J.J. McCarthy was ahead of schedule with his rehab. And then at the Combine, they just weren't as forthcoming with that. Maybe the Vikings have told Aaron Rodgers, we might want you. We got to wait to see what's going on with our quarterback. Or we might want you. We got to find out if we have the money. I don't know what that is. But if I'm Rodgers, I will wait for Minnesota. If I think I get a year to start in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson, that offensive line, and Kevin O'Connell calling the plays versus the Giants or the Steelers, I'll tell the Giants and the Steelers, you guys got to wait. I want to see what they're doing. So if the Vikings are holding it up, I take everything I just said back. But it does seem like multiple teams want Aaron Rodgers. So eventually he'll, be done with his offseason excursions, and then he'll He'll sign. So I think he'll be on a team next year. I just don't know when. Don't ask me to put a timer on it.
And plus, if he goes to the Vikings, he can do the whole Favre thing. So.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
Almost exactly.
All right, copper drop. Carolina Panthers will sign a wide receiver before the end of NFL free agency. Of course, David Moore notwithstanding who they
I was going to say, they just
today,
signed David Moore. I was going to cop it and take the free bingo square victory. I'm going to drop it out of hope. Because who's still out there? There's Keenan Allen. There's Stephon Diggs. There's, I don't know, old and older, I guess is the way the free agency is looking. You already have your old guy. And that's no disrespect to Adam Thielen. He's really good, but he's an old guy. He's the oldest wide receiver in the league that's in rotation. David Moore is not a spring chicken. I want a core that can grow. If you're going to add to the core, I wanted a core that can grow with Bryce Young. There were options out there. The oldest I was probably looking seriously as far as somebody I wanted them to sign was probably like a Chris Godwin. But when he went back to Tampa, T. Higgins obviously signed the monster deal with Cincy. Even Cooper Kupp I wouldn't have been super, super into, even though I think he's really, really good when healthy. I just don't know if the options are out there. Depending on what Panthers scouts had Teteroa McMillan at his pro day, we saw reports yesterday, everything from like 4.48 to 4.57, maybe even a little north of that. If McMillan is legit fast, I'm interested at number 8. If he's not, I think he just becomes super, super boomer bust, and I'm less excited about that. So I think there's a chance they're just going to roll into this year maybe with an underwhelming wide receiver core and hope to solve that next offseason the same way they rolled into this past year with kind of an underwhelming defense and then solved it this offseason. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, unless McMillan really does shine for them. Do we have one more?
Yes, last one. Copper drop. UNC will go on a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Are they getting out of the first weekend? Are they going to the Sweet 16, maybe the Elite 8, Final 4? Are they getting out of today? Copper drop.
All right, there was a lot going there. I'm copying them getting out of today. I'm copying them beating San Diego State today. San Diego State, 21-9 on the year, 4th in the Mountain West. By the way, actually, we'll take a break here in a second. But I do want to say this. As far as like waving the ACC banner, we have essentially the 4th best team in the ACC and the 4th best team in the Mountain West going against each other in a play-in game. If the 4th best team in the ACC can't smack around the same level team from the Mountain West, I don't know what's going on. So UNC better win. We'll talk UNC San Diego State coming up next. We'll actually take a little look at San Diego State. Familiarize ourselves with the opponent coming up next. Don't go anywhere. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan with more coming up.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. Folks, the opportunity that you have, it's coming to an end. You need to go to caniacsbike.com because Law Tigers, Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they've all teamed up once again to give one lucky fan a custom Caniacs motorcycle. And the only way to enter to win is you go to caniacsbike.com. I actually went to see the bike yesterday. It's absolutely gorgeous. Custom built by Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, custom painted by Shining Side Paint, both located right here in Raleigh. It's absolutely gorgeous. I would love to have the bike. I can't, but you can. Just go to caniacsbike.com and enter for your chance to win. It's one of one, folks. One of one. The bike can be yours. Go to caniacsbike.com. You have till April 6th. Enter now, caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
So, you found the one and want to get married? Next step, you need the ring. And not just any ring, the perfect engagement sparkle that exemplifies your love. Bailey's Fine Jewelry is here to help. Our diamond experts, wide selection of high-quality diamonds, and financing make saying I do easy. We guarantee you'll love the ring or your money back. You're invited to see why Bailey's has been voted best place to buy your diamonds. Visit us today in-store or at baileybox.com to find out more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
It's bow time.
finally lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T&Cs apply.
Oh, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. People are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale, 19 minutes from Clayton, and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get up to $12,000 off a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado with Trade Assist program when you trade in a 2011 or newer passenger car or truck. Together, let's drive.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, everything for the exterior of your home. Do you have a favorite?
I have a favorite, yeah.
I want to hear
it. So windows, doors are my favorite products. The reason why is because we are the best at installing them. You know, there's 1,000 different types of windows on the market, doors on the market, different people installing them, different companies. I don't care how good a window you get. If it's not installed properly, it's not going to do you a bit of good. I always tell people, if you buy a submarine window, the best one in the world, and you have me put it on a submarine, you don't want to get in that submarine.
I don't want to get in the submarine either way.
I hear you. So anyway, so that's the thing I say. So it's really important that you have things installed properly. We've been around since 1961. We've got a 4.9 out of 5-star Google review ratings, over 800 reviews. Give us a call. We'll come out and give you a free no-obligation estimate.
It's the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online at aluminumcompany.com.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by RDU Airport Authority. Lufthansa is excited to take off from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, connecting you to destinations like Germany, Italy, India, and beyond. Say yes to incredible journeys. Book today at Lufthansa.com.
Here comes Carolina. Set Roslovic, they score! A beautiful pass from Taylor Hall. And the 20th of the year from Jack Roslovic.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll get to a little bit of feedback frenzy here, mixing it up on a Tuesday leading into the NCAA tournament. But I do want to talk UNC San Diego State for a second, just because we didn't finish it before the break. UNC, the way I'm saying this is they have to make it about themselves. San Diego State is no pushover, right? They're the fourth best team in the Mountain West, but they did beat Creighton. They did beat Houston, who's one of the best teams in the country. They did smoke Cal as far as an ACC opponent and held Andrei Stojakovic, who's a legit scorer for Cal, to 10 points on 2 of 12 shooting. They have two guys that are 6'10" or taller in their rotation. Guath, who's 7 foot, averages 8.5 points and 5 rebounds. And Coleman Jones, who's 6'10", averages 7 and 5. They're big. They're not scary. UNC has to make it about themselves. And by the way, that's how most teams in the NCAA tournament operate. There's not enough time to dive too far into scouting reports. It's not a conference tournament game where you know these teams and you know what they do year over year. You know what their coaches like to do. But it's even more true for a team like UNC when you're playing a team that isn't a really bad matchup, right? When UNC has a few holes on their roster that if you can really take advantage of them, you can catch them. But when you're playing a team that doesn't have strengths where those weaknesses are vulnerable, gosh, you have to make it about yourself. UNC's at their best when they're touching the paint on most possessions. Not saying they aren't shooting threes, but the ball goes in to come out, right? Goes in for kickouts. When they're shooting the three confidently, stepping it in, no hesitation. When they're pressuring passing lanes on defense, getting deflections and turning into easy offense. That's what they have to do. Before we get to a little feedback frenzy, Hubert Davis on Hubert Davis Live on Tar Heel Sports Network. Obviously, he's the head coach of UNC. Talked about his impressions of San Diego State, and obviously, you know, they're throwing it together just like the rest of us, right? Not a lot of time, so their impressions are first impressions. Here's Hubert.
We're going to have to work hard to get the ball up the floor and work harder than them to catch the ball where we want to so we can execute and get the ball to where we want it. Very physical, tall, athletic. Earlier this year, they beat Houston. Mm-hmm. And so, you know what type of makeup they have in regards to physicality and toughness, especially on the defensive end, rebounding. On the offensive end, they have the ability to score in the post and also beyond the arc. And so, but they hang their hat and understand that for them to be successful, the number one thing for them is to be a great defensive team. And so, obviously, we'll know even more as we get closer to the game, but we know that it will be a very competitive game, and it's a team that has experienced tremendous success over the years, and but we're really excited about the challenge.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was insight from Hubert Davis on Tar Heel Sports Network. Now, let's jump into a feedback frenzy. We'll come back to UNC, but we have Max producing the show, which means it's his first feedback. We're getting all the firsts out of the way for Max producing the show. Max, go ahead and take it away. What are the listeners saying on YouTube, social media, wherever you found our feedback that we're going to respond to?
All right, first feedback frenzy is regarding the Carolina Hurricanes. William McFall said, I was just watching the NHL channel where they were talking about how great Mikko R is and the loser with this drama that has been going on for several weeks. I think the Hurricanes won. Mikko is gone, and we got 3 really good players that have bought into the style and determination that has become a staple with the Canes under Rob B. 7 wins in a row. Hell yeah.
All right. I first of all, fans, go nuts. Okay, I want to be clear here. I'm not telling you to shut down the celebration at all. If you want to start adding up Mark Jankowski goals and comparing them to Mikko Rantanen goals, I encourage you because why not, right? That's more fun. I don't want to be the person shutting the party down at 9:30, right? It's just getting warmed up. But I also do want to say this. You can't judge trades, particularly when picks are involved, particularly when players who are 28-year-old stars are involved. You can't judge trades for a long time, 2, 3, 4 years into the future. The other thing is Mikko Rantanen is let me think of an analogy here. Max, I love analogies in case you aren't aware.
I had no idea.
Mikko Rantanen is what I call and I'm making this up on the spot, so I don't know why I said I call. In the living room, he's a television. Some of these other guys are like end tables. And what I mean by that is everyone else moves to look at the television, right? You build your living room around the television. End table, it can sit next to a chair. It can sit next to a couch. You can put it up against the wall. You can put it near the TV stand. It's different. And maybe that's a bad analogy, but what I'm saying is it's going to take longer to adjust to Mikko Rantanen because he is a bigger piece of your team, right? Like Logan Stankoven, no offense, is going to come in. He's going to play on a 3rd or 4th line. He's going to try to get in where he fits in. Mark Jankowski is going to show up and he's going to try to do the dirty work. He took, as great as his 4 goals have been, the guy's taken 4 shots on goal, right? He's had 4 shots on goal. Rantanen gets that in 2 periods oftentimes. So it's the adjustment period for role players is just smaller than stars because everybody has to adjust to the star a bit. So I'm not judging any of this officially. Like if you ask me for my, sworn under oath reaction, I'm not judging any of this till 2028. But you're darn right, for 4 games it's been pretty darn fun. So who am I to stop the party? Keep rolling. What else we have for feedback frenzy?
So this was regarding Duke basketball securing number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Rome 8180 said, Why are we even talking about dominance? Who expected Duke to be dominant in the ACC tournament? Maybe he didn't expect Duke to be dominant. Cooper Flagg has the highest box plus minus in the entire country at plus 16.4. Malik Brown is at plus 10.9. I couldn't find another pair of teammates in the entire country with a combined BPM of plus 27.3. Closest was Broom and Cardwell at plus 26.5. So yeah, you're taking away an enormous amount of on-court value when you subtract those two.
Well, the reason why we were talking about dominance is because the highlight we played coming out of break when they won the ACC tournament had the play-by-play announcer going, one of the most dominant ACC performances. And I went, whoa, not exactly. So we didn't pull that out of thin air. We were reacting quite literally to a highlight. That's why. And then it led into, but I actually think it's more impressive, right? Because being dominant, if you have all the talents in the world, is impressive. Winning anyway when you have two of the best players on your team, and I wouldn't even say two of the best. One, the best player, and another one who's, I don't know, 5th to 7th best on your team, when they're both out and you still win, it might be more impressive than being just overwhelmingly dominant with your team fully healthy. So it was a reaction to a highlight we had played that just transitioned into a different point. So there you go, little peeking behind the curtain of a radio show there. It wasn't just pulled out of thin air.
I think he was agreeing. I think it was just kind of.
Well, yes. Why are we talking about?
Yeah, he's like, why are we even talking about dominant? Like, obviously they were dominant,
Yeah. Well, obviously, again, they weren't. But it was more impressive the way they did it, right? Nobody can say you were dominant when you beat the 5th seed because they had a lane violation that prevented them from going to overtime. Like, that's not a dominant win. That's not going to win any beauty contests if you catch my drift.
And we'll do one last one here. This was on a segment from yesterday's show, I believe. UNC sneaking into the NCAA tournament. At Brian Thompsonable said, can one local media figure be brave and say the emperor has no clothes? UNC did not deserve to get in.
I said that all year, if we're being honest. We during Copper Drop, actually, for 6 straight weeks, Dennis asked, Copper Drop, UNC gets into the NCAA tournament, and I dropped it. But one of the things I pride myself on in this business, because there's not many people that do it, is if I learn new information, if something else comes to light, if I see something else, I am actually willing to change my mind, and I will just explain why. I think that's important. I hate people that are, 2 years ago I said this, so I'm just going to dig my heels in, stick to my guns, and I'm not going to hear any new information on the subject because I thought this 2 years ago. And that's true for life for me. It's just very frustrating. A lot of times before we get into debates, it's like, all right, let's just establish where we are. Is there any chance either of us are going to change our opinion? Right? Because am I debating to try to win, or am I debating to legitimately try to learn and change? If one of us isn't trying to do that, all right, cool, we'll just move forward in that manner. So watching them at the ACC tournament, I changed my mind. And luckily we have receipts, right? You can go back and listen to our show on Friday, which led into the games where I didn't think UNC would get in unless they beat Duke. I said if they beat Duke, they'll get in. If they don't, they won't. And then you can go find my Twitter from about half hour, 45 minutes after the game where I said, you know what? That's an NCAA tournament team. I watched them. I saw the way they played in the second half against Duke. That's an NCAA tournament team. I changed my mind. I'm not afraid to say they don't deserve to get in. I said that for 6, 7, 8 weeks. But I also have to take in new information and admit I changed my mind. There you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll come back to that game because it is playing tonight. What is it, about 4 hours from now? It's the late game, 9:10, out there in Dayton in the first round. We have the starting 5. We'll talk Canes to start things off and the Andrei Svechnikov absence. How long will it go on? How serious is it? How much should we be concerned? Stick around.
Dennis Cox here for ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Folks, it's finally here. Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. All tournament long, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. We're in the offseason, but that doesn't mean me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, take a break from our podcast, Panthers Playbook. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as the NFL draft approaches, insight on free agents and prospects, plus all the insider info on who the Panthers want to pick at number 8. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcast or watch on YouTube.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
Mix and match faves like a Filet-O-Fish, McCrispy, Spicy McCrispy, or 10-piece McNuggets. Now get any 2 for only $6. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash. You can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, and often no appraisal. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day. So act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. Get the money you need for anything. 919-381-1760, LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business?
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Hello, Scott Forbes, head baseball coach, University of North Carolina. When it comes to choosing a dealership, I stick with Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Growing up in Sanford, I've been fortunate to be lifelong friends with Will Wilkinson. My family and I have been buying and having our vehicles serviced at Wilkinson for many, many years. Great service, competitive prices, and most importantly, a place you can trust. Go where I go. Go see my longtime friend Will Wilkinson at Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to let a new career blossom. The Wake County Public School System is hiring special education instructional assistants and bus drivers, and we need dedicated individuals to help transport kids and provide instruction to motivated students. You'll love our competitive salaries and comprehensive benefits, including retirement, and will enjoy a welcoming, positive culture that will motivate you every day. Apply now at careers.wcpss.net and discover a place where anything is possible.
Tim Donnelly here for Zero Res. Right now, you can beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at $119 and take 20% off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online anytime at ZeroResRaleigh.com. Just say you want the 99.9 The Fan special. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same, Zero Res.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. We have some beautiful weather out there today. Plenty of sunshine with temperatures warming into the low 70s this afternoon. We'll have clear skies tonight, and it's going to be chilly. We'll get down to about 44 tonight. Then partly cloudy and warm Wednesday afternoon with highs near 80.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money at the closing bell. Dow Jones down 260 points to 41,581. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity of Wake County. Habitat for Humanity ReStores have a huge selection of high-quality building materials at a fraction of regular retail cost. Come shop and save on your next project. Find locations at trianglerestores.org. This hour of the drive is also brought to you by the UNC Chapel Hill University Development Office. Save the date for Give UNC, mark your calendars for March 25th, and get ready to make an impact at UNC Chapel Hill.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is 5:02, which is close enough to 5 for it to be the starting 5 time here on The Drive. Let's start with number 5. Should I just count? I can just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ross Svech, Walker shot, he scores! From long distance, Sean Walker, his 100th NHL point, his second goal with the Canes.
The Canes, we've been talking about it. Good vibes right now, right? The Canes, they're on a 7-game win streak, 4-0 since Mikko Rantanen was traded away. They're outscoring their opponent 17-5 during that time. Their most recent game, a 5-0 shutout for Pyotr Kochetkov against Philly. If there's one thing, right, that like, I don't know, when you're talking with your Canes fans, friends, and you're all excited that you might just go like, well, we'll have the unwritten rule to just not talk about this because that's a kind of a bummer, and everything else we're talking about is fun. It would be the absence of Andrei Svechnikov. He's missed 3 straight games. Yesterday, he skated ahead of the practice with an assistant coach. Today, he did skate at their optional skate, although there were only like 4 or 5 guys out there. But Rod Brindamore yesterday wouldn't commit to Svech going on the road trip. Now, they play at San Jose on Thursday, at the Kings out there in L.A. on Saturday, and then at Anaheim on Sunday. So if he doesn't go on the road trip, now you're looking at 6 straight games missed, maybe more. That's not the end of the world, right? Matter of fact, they're playing well without him because he's missed 3 straight games, 3 of the last 4 since Mikko Rantanen left. 3 of the last 4 games, which has built all this positive energy, he hasn't been there. So you could say the vibes, he wasn't causing them, so why would his absence create them to go away? Well, there's a few things. One, and I've said this, there are certain hot streaks going on right now that are going to come back. Mark Jankowski's not a goal-per-game player. He has been over the last 4. But as that comes back down to earth, you need somebody else to pick up that scoring slack. And somebody like Svech, who hasn't been as productive as maybe in the past few years this season, maybe he's one that could catch a little fire to overcome that, right? The other thing is this. And I hate this thinking, but I can't help but have it pop into my brain. When somebody's not playing and the team's vibes are super through the roof, there is part of me that goes like, don't mess with anything, right? Like old school antennas on a TV, right? You're messing with it. You're pointing it in different directions. The picture comes in clear. What does everybody say? Don't touch it. Don't move. You don't even want to like stand up from the couch because maybe the creaking floor will move the antenna and ruin your picture. Like, Kotkaniemi and Taylor Hall seem like a nice little pair, right? They'll talk about it. They're starting to see the game the same way. They're starting to get that awareness of I don't need to see him to know where he likes to be. Jack Roslovic is playing well with them. That I'm not sure you want to mess with. Blake Aho-Jarvis, I really like just the idea of that. I think they could be more productive, but they're growing, and I don't want to mess with that line right now. So are you putting Svech on the stall line?
He's had success with that group before.
True. But the only issue I have there is I'm not sure you are utilizing Svech in the best way, right? Asking him to grind when I'm going like, I don't know. I've said this a billion times. I'm going to say it again. There's like once every 2 weeks, he has a 4-minute stretch where I just scream, do that all the time. Right there. People are bouncing off you. You're so physically down. Just do that. And I'm not sure we'll get those stretches more often if you put him next to Stahl and Martinook. Here's my ideal role for Svech. And I want this to be thought of kind of in theory, right? We don't play till Thursday, so you have some time to do some theoretical debates with your Kane fan friends. My ideal role for Svech is whatever role allows him to have the turbo button pressed down the entire time. If that is a few less minutes, I'm cool with that. If that is less minutes alongside stars, or he doesn't get to play with Aho as much, I'm cool with that. When he is out there, I want him to be absolutely unmissable. Right? I want to notice him like a bull in a china shop. That's what I want, and I want to tell him that. I want to tell him, like, hey, man, we'll get you your rest. Don't worry about it. When you're out there, like the video, I haven't played video games in a long time. The video games I used to play used to have the little, like, energy bar above their head. You know what I'm talking about? And as you hold down turbo, that bar goes all the way to 0. I want to tell him, turbo down when your bar is low. We'll get you out. Don't be out there pacing yourself. Aho, Jarvis, those guys will pace themselves. I want you bull in a china shop. And the other thing that comes with that is you have to be 100% healthy to do that. So no rushing back from injuries if we're going to send you, through a wall head first. You need to be 100% healthy for that. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
For North Carolina, I don't know how they made the tournament and West Virginia didn't make the tournament. North Carolina had 11 opportunities to play against teams in the field. They only won one of those on a neutral court in December.
Oh, the should they get in or not bubble conversation. Everybody's having it. You just heard Jay Will, UNC shouldn't be in. Patrick Morrissey, West Virginia governor, is exploring legal avenues towards the NCAA committee because West Virginia didn't make it. I'm not making that up. We have the audio. Here's the governor of West Virginia.
6 quad 1 wins. And that was combined with an undefeated record against quad 3 and quad 4 opponents. 3 wins against top 10 teams and the 24th toughest schedule in America. West Virginia deserved to be in the NCAA tournament. This was a miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest levels. Now, who was the last team to get into the tournament? Ahead of the Mountaineers. That would be the University of North Carolina. Now let's see how their resume stacks up. The Tar Heels went 1-12 in quad 1 games and even had a quad 3 loss. And we keep hearing about the importance of these quad 1 wins, but UNC couldn't even get 6 quad 1 wins.
Couldn't even get 6 quad. You have exactly 6, so that's not act like that was so easy. But I'm actually gonna, Governor, the Ken Palm ratings, the net rankings, these are numbers, right? Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. UNC is significantly ahead of West Virginia in most equations. But that's not what I'm here to argue. What I'm here to argue is if you're arguing on a bubble, you're probably not good enough to be angry. You know who is good enough to be angry? Louisville. You know who is good enough to be angry? And you'll see where I'm going with this. Auburn. Auburn's the number 1 overall seed. They should be furious with the committee. How? Here's how. Louisville from the ACC, which, gosh, the ACC needs an advocate somewhere. Louisville is an 8 seed. Louisville is the AP poll 10th best team right now. They are 8th in their own region, 8th in the South Regional of their NCAA tournament bracket. If Louisville beats Creighton and Auburn beats the winner of Alabama State and St. Francis, the number 1 overall seed, Auburn, will face the 10th team in the AP poll in the second round. Auburn should be furious at how poorly seeded that is. If you take the 10th best team in the country and put them at an 8 seed, and we got to play them in the second round when we are the number 1 seed and we're supposed to play some scrub in the second round, you'd be furious. The irony is we learned this during college football playoff time, right? If you mess up the order of your seeds, you're not just messing up the teams that are low ranked, you're also messing up the teams that play them, right? Because the college football playoff artificially put Boise State and Arizona State higher in the bracket and kind of unintentionally pushed down teams that were much better than them. Now you may say, like, that's messed up to the teams that pushed them down. No. Not just the teams that were pushed down, also the teams that had to play like the 6th seed, and the 6th seed is the 3rd best team, right? That's messed up also. Pushing down Louisville is not only disrespectful to the ACC, right? Team made the conference championship, went 11-1 in quad ones, quad twos, had 4 quad one victories, is top 25 in KenPom, top 25 in net rankings, everything that they say they take into account, Louisville checked off. Yet somehow they're an 8 seed. But the SEC should be mad because now Auburn's going to have a much tougher, if Louisville wins, much tougher second round game than they should. The same way people were like, this is kind of messed up. Oregon in football has a more difficult path than like Penn State did because of the stupid way the rankings were done. Louisville should be furious. I'm furious for them. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
They've done it with defense. The Tar Heels only 32% from the field here in the second half and 4-15 from 3. Cooper on the left has a drive. Good night! A 2-hand stuff to take the lead to 15.
The NCAA. I got to stop saying ACC tournament. That was last week. The NCAA tournament starts tonight. St. Francis and Alabama State in Dayton, Ohio in an hour and a half. That's when things get cranking. And then North Carolina and San Diego State after that, 9-10 p.m., but really it's just after the first game. Everyone in the NCAA tournament, though, your tournament's already started. How are you preparing for your game? Even if you're not in these Dayton games, how are you preparing? Tomorrow at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, NC State's home arena, Duke's going to have a practice open to the public. I think it's like 1:15. Everybody kind of has certain media availabilities. What is Duke doing today that is going to help them win a national championship? That's the question. What is Auburn doing? What is Florida? What is Houston? These favorites, what are they doing today that is going to help them win a national championship? If I'm Duke, if I'm John Shire, if I'm some of the assistant coaches, I think, and I say this with like psychology in mind, I think I might be insulting my players. I think I might be telling them they're no good. I think I might put together highlight films that are actually low-light films of turnovers and missed shots and missed free throws, because if you look anywhere, people are very excited about Duke basketball. And Cooper Flagg's coming back. He's hopefully going to play on Friday with the ankle injury being better. And oh my goodness, did you see Con Knipple when Cooper Flagg went out? He rose to a level, and Kamen Malawash. And by the way, I'm participating in this. I have as much fun as anybody talking about good basketball, and they've played a lot of good basketball. And, they have the veterans this time, and John Shire's ready to take the torch, and everybody wants to talk about that. You got to insult them a little bit. I just watched a really good documentary. I think it's on HBO. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. It's narrated by Grant Hill, and it's about the college kids that beat the Dream Team in a scrimmage when the Dream Team was getting ready to go play in the Olympics in '92. It was Grant Hill. It was Chris Webber. It was Allen Houston, like studs in college, and they won the scrimmage. There's debate, and they talk about it in the documentary, on if Chuck Daly, the coach of the Dream Team, didn't throw the scrimmage. Basically, not play Jordan, right? Basically play weird combos of players for the Dream Team so they would lose, because he needed their attention and he needed them to essentially taste their own blood, right? Like, get punched in the face one time with no reporters around in a closed gym by a bunch of college kids So then they wouldn't be overconfident when they play Angola, even though they probably could have been, right? When they played all these teams that they played in the Olympics. If I'm John Shire, I'm not saying I'm putting together a high school team and making them go beat Duke in a I'm not saying Duke's a dream team. I'm just saying if people are talking about you as if you're the dream team, I want to make sure they know they don't walk on water. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Dribbles to the foul line, bounces it right away to Styles, steals it. Head of steam left to right at the three-point line. Euro step, bucket, scoops it up, missed it, cleans it up, and ties the game at 6. Dontrez Styles stealing a basket 4 minutes in.
NC State's still looking for their head coach, right? Kevin Keatts. They fired him now over a week ago. I completely forgot about this. Last year, when NC State was in the Final Four, ironically, we had Dennis and Adam from our station, Adam Gold, were at the Final Four. So we used that to grab some interviews, right? Coaches and everything are walking around the Final Four. It's kind of like Radio Row for the Super Bowl. I interviewed and talked with on this station one of the main candidates, the most often talked about candidates for NC State's head coaching opening, Ryan Odom. Now, he was walking around. He was the head coach of VCU at the time, still is, and basically giving interviews. You may remember he was the head coach of UMBC when they beat Virginia, the first 16 seed to beat a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. So we talked about that for a while. And basically, I just want to play a clip for you where he's talking about NC State's run last year. But more importantly, I'm using this as like a vibe, like a aura test, right? Tell me what you take away from Ryan Odom talking about NC State's run last year, and imagine if this could be State fans try to use your imagination to, could this be the next coach of NC State? Could this be him talking about his program next year?
The key is, as a coach, you want your team certainly to reach its potential, and you want them to be playing their best basketball at the end of the season. And I think certainly that's what's happened with NC State. And like I said earlier, one game, all right, one game can lead to another positive game for you. And then all of a sudden you're gaining confidence as you go. And I think that's certainly happened, with NC State's team. Coach Keatts has done a great job with that group. They know who they are. They know how they have to win and how they have to play in order to win on offense and defense. They're not going to beat themselves. They're not going to throw it away. They're going to get a shot each time. And at key moments, they know where the ball's going and who's going to make the decision. And that's really what coaching is. The players have to make the plays, but you have to put them in the right positions for them to be able to make the right plays.
I'll tell you what I was thinking during that interview, and I'll tell you what I was thinking when I rewatched that interview earlier today. It's on our YouTube, by the way, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe while you're there. That dude is cool. He is calm. He is smooth. He is comfortable. Calm, cool, collected. Which, by the way, I think is a good trait in a coach, right? He's somebody that strikes me as, minute left. He's not going like, time out. He's going like, all right, let's see what we do here. Like, he's constantly evaluating. What you have to ask yourself, if you are Boo Corrigan, the athletic director at NC State, or if you're a fan, or if you're somebody involved with State, is, does that fit with your program? We talked a lot yesterday about how you need to have, more importantly now than ever, you need to have an identity for your program, right? You're not going to be able to be the highest bidder for every player. Also, guys are going to have options. And when you call, do they know anything about your program? When you reach out in the portal, do they go, oh, right, I know you. You're the team that fill in the blank. You're the team with the coach that fill in the blank. You need an identity. Is State's identity calm, cool, and collected? Does that fit? To fundraise, right? Think of the richest people you know that are NC State alum. When they are at a booster event, do they want somebody that's walking up, smooth, little handshake, little vibe, little hangout, or do they want somebody that's a bigger personality? Right? It's not just, and trust me, every coach that I've ever met, and that's not true. A lot of coaches that I've met wish their job was X's and O's and was game planning and game prep. It's so much more than that now. It's so much more off the field, court, whatever. So Ryan Odom, to me, and we just played a little clip from last year. I got talked with him. He's smooth. He's calm. Does that fit with NC State? That's what you have to decide. Because you can go another direction, right? We watched. We called it taking his glasses off. Hubert Davis for UNC this year. He's a lot more demonstrative. He's taking all. He's screaming. He's yelling. He's moving more. Yeah, Max. For that, he was kind of doing a physical impression there of Not so is Graham. They're doing their best angry, miming of Hubert Davis. Some teams need that. You got to figure out what your team needs and then do everything you can to get that coach. That's number 2. Let's jump to number 1.
As they get it back out to R.J. Davis, 13 on the shot clock. Crossover, step back, triple, count it! Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Hubert Davis, UNC tonight versus San Diego State. They are the technical second game of March Madness of the NCAA tournament, but they're the headliner tonight. It's a big game. Hubert Davis, it was noticeable during the ACC tournament that UNC was desperate. They were the caged animal. They were the team with their backs into a corner that understood. They probably believed if they didn't beat Duke in the semis, their season was over. Now, obviously, they didn't. They came a lane violation short, but they need to play with that same kind of intensity. If there's a bad foul call early in the game and I see Hubert Davis trying to calm down the sideline, I'll go, don't love this. If there's a bad call early in the game, I want Hubert Davis having to be calmed down, right? He needs to bring the same energy, the same intensity, and the same thing is true for the rest of the team. Caged animal, backs against the wall. The challenge now is it's true for everybody, right? When you're playing Duke in the semis, there's probably a little chirping in the back that's understood. Duke's like, we want to win the ACC, but we're a national championship contender. Right, I'm not sure if the ACC semifinal wasn't the Final Four, you wouldn't have at least gotten a decoy Cooper Flag, right? I might not be able to be explosive, but hey, put me on the corner, at least make them double team me, right? But Duke's going, no, we got bigger things to play for. Let's not risk it. Let's be cautious. UNC was the desperate team. Now that it's a single elimination tournament for everybody is desperate. Now that it is a single elimination tournament for everybody, everybody's season ends the moment the clock strikes 000 and they have less points. And I'm not sure anybody knows that more than R.J. Davis. R.J. Davis, fifth-year player for UNC. Go watch the Selection Sunday moment where UNC's name pops up on the bracket. You could see pure jubilation on R.J. Davis as he found out he was going to get to play at least one more game in a North Carolina uniform. This is R.J. Davis during the NCAA tournament media availabilities on his veteran presence that can be an asset for UNC in the first four.
Obviously, being in college for a long time, 5 years, but then experiencing what I experienced in March Madness and NCAA tournament, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. From playing in the Final Four, national championships, the Sweet 16s, the Elite Eights, those is what you dream of, and it's a hard route to get there. So my approach, my mentality is kind of just stay confident, stay composed. One game at a time, and understand that we have a team behind us that can really do a lot of great things. And like Svech said, it was a do or die situation for us for the past month. And whether we realized it or not, we performed at a high level. So I think that's a good sign for us, knowing that when our back's against the wall, when pressure's on us, we're able to perform at a high level.
It was do or die, and then you didn't, but you didn't die. That's a second. I don't know. Did that grammar make sense? Did people catch that? It was do or die. You didn't, and you didn't die. So it's kind of you got a second life here, right?
Don't and live.
Don't. Yeah. It's do or die. You died, but you're still alive. I don't know how to say it. My point is this: you were playing games that you thought if you lose, your season's over. You lost one of them in heartbreaking fashion, but your season continued anyway. Don't lose the intensity of playing like it's do or die. and be the most desperate. It's do or die for everybody. Be the most do or die, if that makes sense. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the beauty of a bracket. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. And during bracket season, during March, where things get crazy, we're getting crazy also with Bailey's Fine Jewelry with a watch bracket. We have a 16-watch bracket that they've set up, and they've empowered me. I get to decide the winners of each matchup, and they did not make it easy on me. Okay, we're looking at the bracket. We're looking at the watches. We're trying to find the ultimate Bailey's Fine Jewelry watch. And I was excited to do this because I'm a watch nerd. And then I got the bracket and I looked at it. And the very first matchup was the Omega Speedmaster against the Rolex Submariner. And I bit off more than I can chew because these are two of the coolest watches in the history of the world. Omega Speedmaster, it's the moon watch. It's worn on the moon by NASA. Rolex Submariner might be the most iconic singular watch model out there. And they put them together against each other in the first round. That's the kind of battle that we're going to expect every single matchup. And as the one with the power here that gets to make the decision, you can tell me I'm foolish. You can tell me I'm wrong at Donnelly Sports on Twitter. I'm advancing Rolex Submariner. I'm advancing the Rolex Sub over the Omega Speedmaster. I think there's even some personal affections towards the Speedmaster. I just love the dial. I love the complication. I love the way it looks. But there's also just an acknowledgement of its place in history. The Rolex Submariner, though, I think I got to give the people one. It looks great. You can actually see a picture of one over the shoulder if you're watching on YouTube. It's an icon. There's no wrong answer here, right? This game goes to 6 overtimes, but the Rolex Sub comes out on top. It's going to be Rolex Submariner advancing to the next line on our watch bracket, all presented by Bailey's Fine Jewelry. If you want to see any of the watches we talk about in the bracket, if you want to buy, purchase, wear any of the watches we talk about in the bracket, check them out. Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh. Head to the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. It's located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Just make sure they know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan. Hopefully my decisions get easier because that one is a brutal watch decision, and I think everyone interested in wrist wear and timepieces would agree with me on that. We need numbers game contestants, don't we? We have Brooks and Dunn tickets. About 9 days from now, Brooks and Dunn are coming to the Lenovo Center on Thursday. That is a March 27th. If you want to go, you have to win the numbers game. If you want to win the numbers game, you have to call in now. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
We're in the middle of the madness.
Tar Heels on the run. Trimble to the cup layup. Cannon in the foul. Carolina can get within 6.
From the first 4 to the national championship.
R.J. Davis swishes it home. That one rainbowed up and through.
All the hoops action will be heard here.
Lubin gets the rebound and hammers it home.
The road to San Antonio is driven by Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Fairway Green, and First Horizon Bank. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
You know what's fun about Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington? You, behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Ram 1500. With savings as much as $15,000 off a new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie, you can have all the fun driving this powerful, rugged truck built for work, play, and everything in between. So get off your keister and get to Heister today. See dealer for details. Hurry to Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash. You can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, and often no appraisal. Listen, The average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day. So act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. Get the money you need for anything. 919-381-1760, LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before.
Oh yeah! Big money!
Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. We are knee-deep in March. The month is crazy. Some even call it mad. Time for your college basketball promo of the week. You can get a share of $1 million in bonus bets if you bet on the lowest winning seed of the day. That's an upset you will not be upset about. See what I did there? FanDuel. Best place to bet on the tournament. Just go to FanDuel.com/AdamGold. Download America's #1 sportsbook. Back your dog of the day. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. It's March. It's crazy. Go nuts. Anything can happen. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Winning pre-live moneyline wager on lowest seed required. Each $1 million jackpot to be split equally among all eligible winners. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Brooks and Dunn tickets coming to Lenovo Center later on this month, going to either Jake in Raleigh or James in Morrisville. As always, we ask a question. Our producer, today it is Max, will decide which is his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. Jake in Raleigh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. The question we're asking today is who wins the NCAA tournament? Who's the team that is going to advance all the way and be the national champion in your bracket?
All right. I got my Tar Heels gear on right now, but I think it's Duke's year. Unfortunately,
wow.
They're just so good. I think Cooper's coming back, and just watching their team, they're so good, top to bottom.
You think Cooper Flagg is going to be back at Duke next year?
No. This year. Did you say next year?
No. When you said he's coming back, I thought you were saying coming back next year.
No,
you're saying just coming back from injury. Got you.
Yeah.
That's less bold, but still, I like you. I like how much thought you put into that one. Stay on the line. We'll see if your answer gets chosen. James in Morrisville, you're up next. James, are you there? All right, James. Same question to you. Who will win the national championship? Who on your bracket is going all the way?
So I have Duke, but I think if anybody's going to give them a run for their money, it's probably going to be Florida with all the firepower they got. I think if anybody's going to give them a run at it, it's going to be Florida.
All right. Thank you, James. Max, tough one here. Kind of similar answers. Are you going with Jake or James?
I mean, I picked Duke in my bracket too, so I got to go with Jake.
All right, Jake and Raleigh gets to go first. James, sometimes going second there is just tough. But stay on the phone line. You'll have your chance in the numbers game. Jake, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right, we have NFL players that played in the NFC West in 2024. We have NFL players that played in the AFC West in 2024. We have the NBA all-hyphen team, players with a hyphen somewhere in their name. Or our fourth category, NHL Hurricanes players only.
Got to go Canes.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we know them, just to keep it fair timing-wise with other categories. Any questions before we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I like the enthusiasm. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jackson Blake, Carolina Hurricanes.
53.
Correct. Jalen Chatfield, Carolina Hurricanes.
4.
Incorrect. Martin Necas, Carolina Hurricanes.
88.
Correct. Kevin Adams, Carolina Hurricanes.
7.
Incorrect. Jalen Chatfield, Carolina Hurricanes.
5.
Correct. Derek Jocelyn, Carolina Hurricanes.
Sorry, you broke up.
Derek Jocelyn, Carolina Hurricanes.
50.
Incorrect. Kevin Adams, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass. Sorry.
I was hoping you went with the same one. Derek Jocelyn, we would have accepted 27 or 33. Kevin Adams, 15 would have been an appropriate answer. 14 or 15 we would have accepted for Adams. And for those of you playing at home, Chatfield wears number 5 most famously, but has also worn 64. So we would have accepted either of those. What is that? You got 3 correct. So that is the score to beat. Go ahead and stand the line. We'll see if it holds up.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. That brings us to James in Morrisville. James, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, the categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that played in the NFC West in 2024, NFL players that played in the AFC West in 2024, or NBA players with a hyphen in their name somewhere.
We get those NFC West NFL players, please.
All right. These are all players that played, as you said, in the NFC West this past season. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 4 for the victory. Any question before we get rolling?
Oh, my God. Let's go.
All right. There's a little static there. I'm not anticipating this, but if I do say it again, or what was that, just be ready to repeat it in case, because I need to make sure you say the actual number, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Of course. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Matt Stafford, Los Angeles Rams.
12.
Incorrect. Deebo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers.
10.
Say it again.
10.
Incorrect. Matt Stafford, Los Angeles Rams. Matt Stafford, Los Angeles Rams.
9.
Correct. Marvin Harrison Jr., Arizona Cardinals.
2.
Incorrect. Deebo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers. Zach Charbonnet, Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, man.
That was tough. I just felt like the rhythm was off a little bit. You did get 1. You got Stafford with 9. For Deebo, we would have accepted number 1, or he wore number 19 as well. Marvin Harrison Jr., 18 was the number we were looking for. And I did say the name. You didn't really have a chance to answer it. But for playing at home purposes, Zach Charbonnet, number 26 with the Seattle Seahawks. You got 1. You avoided the shutout. Not enough for the win, though. But hopefully you had some fun, James.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Call back in. Try again. Jake and Raleigh, that means you're going to see Brooks and Dunn. Congratulations.
All right. Go Canes. Go Brooks and Dunn, I guess.
Go Canes. Go Brooks and Dunn. That's the combo. The concert's coming up, Lenovo Center, on Thursday, March 27th. Stay on the line. Max has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you get your tickets. But congratulations again.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Canes is going to the Lenovo Center, the Lenny, the home of the Canes, and the home of some NCAA basketball games coming up here Friday and Sunday of this week. Duke will be playing at the Lenovo Center. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll take a break when we come back. The funniest thing I saw on UNC Twitter and or social media over the last week. Got to talk about it. Got to address the airplane in the room. Stick around.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. People, I'm trying to tell you, you got to get on it right now. caniacsbike.com. That's where you enter to win a custom Caniacs motorcycle. Law Tigers, Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, your Carolina Hurricanes, they've all teamed up once again to give one lucky fan a custom Caniacs motorcycle. This is the 4th year in a row that they're giving a motorcycle away, but this is the first time it's actually been a true custom build. It is one of one. It's not just a bike with some logo stickers slapped on the side of the tank. No, this is the real deal, folks. Custom built, custom painted. Everything about it truly is one of a kind. It is unique. I got to see it again yesterday. It's absolutely gorgeous. I wish I could have this bike. You can, though. Go to caniacsbike.com. Again, caniacsbike.com to enter for your chance to win. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Is your plumbing outdated or just not getting the job done? Call Newcomb & Company to see how we can help get your home operating at peak performance. Our experienced plumbers can repair or replace faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Are you suffering from chronic joint pain or just struggling with daily activities because of discomfort in your knees, back, or other parts of your body? Well, I've got great news. It's called DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, a solution that can help you get back to feeling like yourself again without the risks of invasive surgery or long-term prescription drug use. DaVita Med Spa and Wellness is a regenerative medicine clinic. Their innovative treatment options address the root cause of your pain to promote healing and prevent re-injury for long-lasting pain relief. If you have arthritis, joint pain, sports injuries, or other conditions, their highly trained medical providers will develop a cutting-edge treatment plan tailored just for you with little to no downtime. DaVita Med Spa and Wellness can get you back to doing the things you love. Call DaVita Med Spa and Wellness today, spelled DVIDA. Call 984-333-1313. 984-333-1313. 984-333-1313.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish. And you can have them too.
Mix and match faves like a Filet-O-Fish, McCrispy, Spicy McCrispy, or 10-piece McNuggets. Now get any two for only $6. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Looking for the perfect kitchen, bath, or flooring? At Home Outlet, we don't just promise the guaranteed lowest price, we back it up.
Yeah, but how low are we talking?
We'll beat any competitor's price by 10%.
That's wow. But okay, what makes your store better?
Funny you should ask. We're 100% employee owned. Everyone here has a stake in making your home projects affordable and stress-free.
So I'm getting expert advice, unbeatable prices, and I'm supporting employees who actually care?
Exactly. Why shop anywhere else? Home Outlet. Kitchens, baths, floors, and more at the guaranteed lowest price. Visit us at homeoutlet.com today.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Everything for the exterior of your home, but it's also everything for the peace of mind of the customer. Talk to me about the trust factor and everything else that you guys offer.
I got to tell you, I think one of the biggest things for us is we don't take any payment from you for any of your home improvement needs until we're done with the project. I hear stories all the time about people putting down deposits with companies, 25-50% of the project total overall, and they don't even know, they don't show up.
Right.
You've lost whatever percentage you put down, that's how much power you lost already. Right?
Right.
So with us, you pay nothing until we're done. Typically we're not the least expensive and we're certainly not the most expensive. You get 3 or 4 estimates, we're going to fall right there in the middle. But, you're going to have a warranty that's lifetime, transferable for 10 years on any of the products we sell typically. And we've been around since 1961. You can trust us. We've been around forever.
It is about trust. And I think you guys are the most trustworthy business that I know. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by RDU Airport Authority. Lufthansa is excited to take off from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, connecting you to destinations like Germany, Italy, India, and beyond. Say yes to incredible journeys. Book today at Lufthansa.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. UNC basketball plays tonight against San Diego State, NCAA Tournament, first 4 round. I'm vibing here coming out of break. Music. This is going to sound weird. Do you know what I think is the biggest threat to UNC's climb to being, quite frankly, back to what they've been in basketball? Men's basketball specifically? It might be Bill Belichick. This was like, this kind of opened my eyes a little bit here. And ironically, during the NC State coaching search, NC State's looking for a men's basketball coach. And the job at Villanova opened up. So Villanova is now in the market for a coach. And I'm reading articles, I'm reading all the reports on Twitter, and I'm trying to figure out, which coaches are candidates where. And I go down this rabbit hole of Villanova being a really attractive job because of the conference they're in. And the reason why it's such a big deal that they're in the Big East is the Big East, you look around, right? It's Georgetown, it's UConn, although UConn doesn't exactly fit, but it's Marquette, it's St. John's, it's Creighton. These schools don't spend a lot of money on football, if any. So when it comes to revenue share, right, if every school, what is it, a little north of $20 million, you can share with your athletes, they don't have to pay football players. And darn sure don't have to play football players as much as a team that is expecting to compete for conference and national championships in football. So Villanova, I mean, if they're paying their football team $2 million, that seems like a lot, right? They're a FCS squad. Their basketball team means they can take the $15 million that you're allowed to give to any one sport and spend it on basketball if they want. UNC has this guy named Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, when he took the job, it came with financial commitment. He's making $10 million a year. There's 1 point whatever million for his GM. There's this much money for each position, right? Those were the reports when he took the job. And all of that, if they are paying football the way football needs to be paid in order to be successful, that's revenue share that can't go to basketball. So just the presence and the commitment it took to get Bill Belichick on campus may have inadvertently taken resources away from basketball. May have. Again, I don't know how the books are going to be written up for UNC, but that's an interesting beast, right? Imagine a UNC basketball fan that misses out on the transfer that would put him over the top, because they needed a backup edge rusher on the football team. It's how it's going to go, right? The funniest part about all of this, now funniest isn't the right word, but something that I'm interested to watch develop is essentially colleges have a salary cap, right? They have this revenue share number. Again, just a little over $20 million is the number I've seen reported most often. If that's right or not, you'd have to talk to somebody in the financial office of a university. But they have this revenue share number that they can share with the players. And there's rules like I believe it's only 70 or 75% can go to any one sport, right? It all can't go to one sport. 70 or 75% can go to one sport. There's a certain amount that has to go to women's sports. There's rules that it needs to be taken care of. But other than that, you can divide it up however you see fit. So instead of being like the NHL salary cap, which is like every dollar you spend on defensemen, you can't spend on forwards, or every dollar you spend on goalies, you can't spend on centers, right? Unlike that, it's that but bigger. Every dollar you spend on men's basketball, you can't spend on football, and every dollar you spend on football, you can't spend on women's basketball. So UNC, who is chasing obviously glory on the football field by bringing in Bill Belichick, that could end up being a hurdle to the basketball team who just squeaked into the NCAA tournament and wants to make sure it never gets that close to not making the NCAA tournament ever again. Now that we've established that, did everybody see Bill Belichick and his girlfriend doing the airplane game on I don't even know how to describe this. On Instagram. I call it the airplane game. Like you can do it. It's so hard to say this without sounding like there's innuendo involved. When you take like a toddler or an elementary school child and you put their stomach or back on your feet, you lay on your back and you put them up and make them look like an airplane, and then you can it's the airplane game. Bill Belichick, 74 years old, did that with his 20-something-year-old girlfriend and then put it on Instagram. Do with that what you will. Max, Graham, you guys are in the producer's room. You guys are closer to college age than I am. So I will ask you this. College kids, does that make them cooler or less cool?
I mean,
because the whole deal, like college sports, this was the question with Belichick. Would he be able to relate to college kids? Would they care about his stories about Lawrence Taylor? Like, could he recruit and relate to college kids? If he walks in there with like, did you see me playing the airplane game with my 20-something-year-old girlfriend? Is that making him more relatable, or are they a little cringy? Like, coach, that's the ick.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Carolina was just on spring break last week, so maybe he's just already fitting the vibe of, going to the beach with his
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
girlfriend.
Are they giving him a fist bump when he comes into a team? I'm saying if you were on the team, you're what, 20? You're mid-20s, right?
26, yeah.
26. So they're 26-year-old college basketball players now, COVID years. Like when he walks into the team meeting room, are you giving him a fist bump, or are you going like, that's weird, coach?
You know what? If he's getting me on national television, I'm getting to get a bunch of NIL money through, playing for Carolina, Jordan, stuff like that. I'm kind of just –
So does
I can live with –
That's your personal life, coach. That's actually probably the correct answer. As long as the football works, that's your personal life. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump to a little bit of overdrive, Tim Donnelly here for Manor Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, right? The things that really make you panic, Manor Service Company wants to take that worry away. Because, there's the saying, do you have a problem? Yes. Do you know how to solve it? Yes. Then you don't have a problem. So here's the deal. You got a plumbing problem? Yes. Do you have Manor Service Company's number? Yes. Then you don't have a problem. Dial the number. They'll come fix it. Same is true for heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. As it gets hot this summer, when your air conditioning's working overdrive, if it does have a hiccup or two, do you have a problem? I do. It's hot as heck in my house and all this is going bad. Okay. Do you have Manor Service Company's number? Yes. Well, then it's already solved. Give them a call. The number is 919-361-0993. Feel free to write it down. 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, manorservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. We have Overdrive coming up next. Max, what are we starting with? Do we know what's leading off Overdrive?
We're going to start with UNC basketball and then get into Duke.
Perfect. It is March, right? The tournament is here, so it is all about that UNC conversation starting off Overdrive. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, 99.9 The Fan. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Do you ever go to the Carolina Hurricanes games and find yourself thinking, what do the players eat before the game? What are their pregame rituals? What kind of music gets them pumped up ahead of the game? How sacred is the game day nap? What's the postgame mood on the team plane? Check out my new podcast, Iced Tea, with me, Megan LaMontagne. I get to talk to people who spill the tea on the Carolina Hurricanes. Listen to Iced Tea in any podcast app or watch the show on the Fan YouTube channel.
Welcome home. Your home's not just where you live, it's where life happens. At Baker Home Exteriors, we're proud to continue Baker Roofing's century-long legacy of excellence, bringing that same craftsmanship to your doorstep. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, or more, we transform houses into the homes you've always dreamed of. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and let's build something beautiful together. That's BakerHomeExteriors.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at $119 and take $20 off your air duct cleaning. Book online anytime at ZeroResRaleigh.com and say you want the $99.9 The Fan special.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Brooks and Dunn, the best-selling duo of all time, live.
Something country.
Neon Moon Tour 2025.
Urban neon.
With David Lee Murphy and Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway.
Up that red dirt road.
March 27th, Lenovo Center, Raleigh. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Brooks and Dunn Live.
Don't go through another year with all that high interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and a personal loan, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 919-381-1760, or visit loanpronto.com. Get a free rate quote with no hard credit pull, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to let a new career blossom. The Wake County Public School System is hiring special education instructional assistants and bus drivers, and we need dedicated individuals to help transport kids and provide instruction to motivated students. You'll love our competitive salaries and comprehensive benefits, including retirement, and will enjoy a welcoming, positive culture that will motivate you every day. Apply now at careers.wcpss.net and discover a place where anything is possible.